Chapter 779. Baya felt much better. She and Alan were still suitable to be friends. They were unrestrained, free to come and go, to protect each other and be friends for life. She did not agree to be with him and was too embarrassed to ask him to stay. England was his world. Rest for a while. I'll go out and buy some flowers. Alan smiled. It's the last meal. I want to eat what you cook. How can it be the last meal? You can come anytime. I welcome you anytime. If you bring your wife and children, I welcome you too. You know, you are more than a friend to me, Baya said seriously. Alan smiled. Then I'll try my best to bring my beloved daughter here for dinner next year. Then I'll learn how to cook for my wife. Okay. I'll go buy some vegetables now. Baya took the car keys and went out. She turned on 2 street lights and waited for the red light. She heard the screams of the people outside and looked out the window. There was a girl standing on the roof. Her head was hanging down and only her long hair could be seen. She looked at the time with her arms crossed and jumped down before the ambulance arrived. It was the 17th floor. Jumping from the top floor would mean certain death. Moreover, the girl did not hesitate. She only stood for a short minute. Even if someone called the police would not be able to arrive in time. So, she came with the determination to die. Beep, beep, beep. The car behind urged. Baya saw that the light was green. She drove away. After all, she could do nothing if someone died. She did not like to watch the commotion. Soon, she arrived at the market. Perhaps because she came too early, there were not many farmers there. She went to the farm and bought a turkey. She asked the boss to take care of it for her. The farm boss planted a lot of vegetables and asked her to pick them herself. She picked a big bag of tomatoes. She liked the feeling of freshness when they were freshly picked. She also picked a big winter melon, some cucumbers, some mushrooms, and some green vegetables. When she rushed back, it was only past 16 in the afternoon. There was enough time to cook. Alan came in to help her wash the vegetables. She went to the yard to catch a fish. Time was peaceful, and cooking a meal was also a very happy thing. Watching raw and cold ingredients turn into steaming hot delicious food was also a very happy thing. When everything was done, it was already 6 p.m. Baya opened a bottle of red wine and poured it for Alan. He swirled the wine glass. Are you going to see Enchanting? Baya shook his head. You know my personality. I'm very passive. Alan laughed. You're not being passive. You're being stubborn. Baya smiled bitterly, took a sip, and looked at the red liquid. Actually, I believe in fate. If it's meant to be, it will be. If it's not meant to be, don't force it. Although I don't know why Enchanting and I separated, and why I hypnotized myself, I vaguely felt that it was our fate. Maybe when you look for him this time, your lives will be together, never to be separated again. I'm afraid, Baya said. In front of Alan, she did not need to hold back, nor did she need to be fake. You know, it's very difficult to hypnotize a person's subconscious to make them forget a person. Self-hypnosis is even more difficult, because the subconscious will tell oneself that it's hypnosis. It's so difficult that I even forgot about him. You can imagine how much pain I felt at that time. Xiaoya, people have to look forward, not backward. If you forget, forget. You can fall in love with him again, and then forget everything in the past. Don't think about it, Alan advised. I'm afraid that one day, I'll suddenly remember everything. If that happens, I'll still be in pain. Whenever I think of him now, my heart hurts. It hurts because you still love and care. If it doesn't hurt, it means that you don't care. Since you care, you don't know what the future will be like. Why not try? At most, you'll just return to being a normal person. It's not a big deal. Alan chuckled. That's what I thought, so I confessed to you. Baya remained silent and did not say anything. Alan chuckled again. The corners of his mouth were still curled up. After the confession, if it fails, we'll still be good friends. Not only did I not lose anything, but it also made me not have any other thoughts. I think it's a good thing. Baya raised her glass and drank another big glass of wine. I still need to think about it. Alan did not say anything else. This turkey is delicious, but I actually prefer to eat chickens. The people here like to eat turkey. When you come next time, I'll make beggar's chicken for you. It should be more to your taste, Baya said with a smile. Okay. After the meal, Baya was a little drunk. She went back to her room to sleep. Alan looked at Baya's lonely back and smiled slightly. He really hoped to see her happy. More than anything, he hoped that someone could take care of her, even if that person was not him. Now, it could not be him. He took out his phone and dialed Gu Lingqing's number. Hello, who is this? Gu Lingqing's slightly cold, and emotionless voice came from the other end of the phone. Hello, I'm Alan, Alan said with a smile. Gu Lingqing was silent for a moment. Take good care of her. I'm afraid I can't do it. We broke up a few hours ago. I think this is the shortest time I've ever been in a relationship. It was only a day, and we didn't even kiss. Why? Gu Lingqing was puzzled and worried at the same time. If you want to let her down, you shouldn't have started. I asked to have sex with her, but she rejected me. Her heart can't accommodate other men, only you, Alan said with a smile. He was a little sad. However, losing to Gu Lingqing was nothing to be ashamed of. Gu Lingqing did not say anything on the other end. You know Xiaoya's personality better than me. She has always been passive and sensitive, and she doesn't want to hurt others. Once there's a little trouble, she won't fight for it, but force herself to give up. However, in her heart, she loves you. I'm leaving tomorrow. Can you take good care of Xiaoya? Alan asked. Gu Lingqing continued to be silent on the other end. You're even less talkative than Xiaoya. How can I let her go? Alan said helplessly. Alan, thank you, Gu Lingqing said in a deep voice. What are you thanking me for? Yesterday, Xiaoya said that she believes in fate. I believe that she has you in her life. Otherwise, you wouldn't always appear when I want to be with her. Perhaps this is also God's arrangement. I just hope that you won't hurt her, Alan said with a smile. What time is your flight tomorrow? I'll send you. Chapter 780. Gu Lingqing didn't say anything. You didn't take it seriously, did you? You're not good with words and you're unpredictable. I don't know what Xiaoya likes about you. Is silence golden? Alan continued to joke. Gu Lingqing didn't say anything. Alan sighed. You don't have to send me tomorrow. I don't feel comfortable when I see you. It's good to come alone and leave alone. I didn't gain anything and I didn't lose anything. Good night. Have a good mood. Gu Lingqing responded in a deep voice. Alan felt that Gu Lingqing really made him uncomfortable. When he said he was in a good mood, Gu Lingqing would just ignore him. Sigh, he wouldn't stoop to his level. He hung up the phone and walked upstairs slowly. He would have a good sleep and leave early the next morning. Baya woke up early. She looked at her phone out of habit. It was 6:20 am. She brushed her teeth and washed up before going downstairs. She saw a note on the coffee table and took it out to read. It was written by Alan. I'm afraid that I won't be able to leave when I see you. I want to trouble you for a few more days and eat a few more meals with you. So, I left early in the morning. I think it's cool to do that. In fact, I can do better. I'll bring my wife to see you next time. Alan even drew a smiley face before he left. Baya smiled. Alan was a person who didn't want to cause trouble or make people worry. He was actually very rational. He was so rational that he knew what he should do. He was also a person who made people feel at ease. She called Alan. Alan picked up the call. You're up early. Yeah, what time is your flight? Baya asked. 6:50 a.m. It's too late for you to come now. I'm eating breakfast now. Don't forget to eat too. Your body is your own, Alan reminded her. Have a safe trip. I look forward to you bringing your girlfriend to see me soon, Baya said with a smile. Same here. Alright, I'm going to have breakfast. Bye. Alan hung up the phone. Baya took a deep breath. It had been lively for a few days, but today, it was deserted again. She was the only one left. She habitually lit the aromatherapy and played beautiful music. She made breakfast first, then went out to water the flowers and feed the fish in the pond. She went back to relax, fried a poached egg, took out the kimchi she made a long time ago from the fridge, ate some porridge, and went out. She went to the cauliflower shop to buy fresh flowers and redecorated the room. Taking a deep breath, she could smell the scent of nature. Her appointment today was at 10 o'clock, so she could spend more time at home. Lying on the sofa, she took out a poetry book and flipped through it. The phone rang. She sighed. The person who would call at this time was most likely the police station. She picked up the call when she saw that it was indeed Joan. Baya, when are you free today? Joan asked. I have a patient at 10 o'clock in the morning and 2 in the afternoon. I'm afraid I'll be very busy today, Baya said. Look, can you spare some time to come here? There's a tricky case here, Joan said in a friendly tone. Can I take a break this weekend? I want to have a good rest, Baya said helplessly. It's Friday today. If you can finish the case today, you can take a break this weekend. I won't arrange any new cases for you, Joan promised. Baya looked at the time. I'm free at noon. Sure, I'll ask them to come at noon. Lunch is on me, Joan said. Baya could not read calmly after receiving the case. She went to the kitchen and saw that there was still a lot of rice. She made 5 servings of sushi and put them in a disposable box. Then, she took out a bottle of hoisin sauce from the fridge and put it in a bag. After she was done, she went to work. Then, she put the bag in the fridge. Dr. Bai, the patient from yesterday, said that she wants to be hypnotized. When are you free? The assistant asked. Did her parents agree? Baya asked. Yes. I'm free on Wednesday afternoon. You can arrange it for next Wednesday at 14 o'clock, Baya said. Huh? That's a long wait. The assistant did not understand. Baya smiled. They can only think clearly after a long time. Maybe they will have a different answer. All right, I've learned. Baya went into the treatment room and looked at the patient's information. The patient from last week has been cured and left. This is my first time seeing this patient. He's a 62-year-old man named Zhou Xiang. His psychological problem is that he steals out of habit. The old man is from country A. He comes from a good family and lives in America with his son. His son does international trade and his company is quite big. He lives in a $30 million villa. However, this old man has seen 25 psychiatrists. Baya smiled. After looking at the information, he could roughly guess a few reasons. The old man pushed the door open and entered. He didn't even knock and sat on the sofa. Baya looked at him. His hair was already white. He was wearing a flowery shirt, beach pants, slippers, a gold necklace, a Patek Philippe watch, an emerald ring and a large emerald thumb ring. Baya smiled. What are you smiling at? Do you think you look good when you smile? I think your smile is very fake. Don't think that I don't know that when you smile, you're trying to cheat money, the old man said unkindly. Baya chuckled. He stood up and poured a glass of water for the old man. The old man was confused. How much is this glass of water? This glass of water is free, Baya said politely. Don't think that I don't know that this money is included in the consultation fee. Wool comes from the sheep's back. I won't drink it. The old man pushed Baya's hand away. Baya didn't lower herself to his level. She placed the glass on the table. She sat opposite him and said, according to the information, you often steal things. You guys are just here to chat. I'm not happy to talk to you guys. Don't even think about earning money from my son, the old man said stubbornly. Actually, when you walk in, even if you don't say anything, you'll still have to pay for it, Baya said. The old man immediately stood up and walked towards the door. Baya said calmly, it's the same if you talk to me for an hour or for a minute. The old man stopped, turned around and sat back on the sofa. What do you want to talk about? I don't like you. I'll tell my son later that you're just fishing for fame and you don't know anything. You're not even as good as the psychiatrist I saw last time. I want to see that psychiatrist. Chapter 781. Baya wasn't angry. Under normal circumstances, you can only see your son a few days a month. It's none of your business. Just take care of yourself. I think this place of yours will close down soon, the old man said in a bad temper. Baya smiled. Every time you steal something, you miss your son, right? You think that as long as you steal something, your son will appear. You will be able to see your son and talk to him. You can also see your son's concern for you from his actions. You feel inferior and are afraid that your son won't want you anymore. What nonsense are you talking about? The old man stood up agitatedly. What do you mean inferior? I don't feel inferior. I think you're the one who feels inferior. You know that you can't take good care of me, so you start scolding me. You even curse my son for not wanting me anymore. I'm going to the Consumer Association to sue you. Baya was very calm. She didn't say a word. She just looked at the old man quietly. Her temper was very good. The old man saw that Baya wasn't angry no matter how much he scolded her. He felt bored and sat back on the sofa. He said arrogantly, "Why aren't you angry? Weren't you very talkative just now? I hope you understand one thing. After I see you, I will call your son. One word from me can make him stay with you, or one word from me can make him not see you for a year. Which result do you want?" Baya said calmly. That's right. What do you want? Baya asked calmly. The old man flew into a rage again. He stood up and pointed at Baya. He scolded, "You vicious woman. You're counting on me, aren't you? You'll die a horrible death if you separate us like this. Even your husband hates you. You're cunning, evil, and have no moral character." Baya let him scold her. Her expression didn't change as she picked up her teacup. She leaned back on the sofa and drank a mouthful of water. She asked, "Are you done scolding me? Is your skin as thick as a wall? You can remain indifferent even when others scold you. Is your heart made of stone? You don't even care about propriety, justice, and honor anymore. No wonder you ran to American territory and abandoned your hometown. You ungrateful little b****tch. If my son doesn't see me for a year, I'll come here every day to make a fuss. I'll make so much noise that no one will come to see me. Baya raised the corner of his mouth and laughed. He glanced at the old man and said, "Since you came to my place to make a scene, I'll go to your son's place to make a scene. Anyway, I don't have any more patience and I have plenty of time. You green TB*TCH, I'll kill you." The old man charged at Baya. Baya didn't even try to hide. "If you kill me, you won't be able to steal anything in prison. You killed the psychiatrist. Let's see if your son will forgive you. You can forget about seeing your son for the rest of your life. You can still see him once a month." The old man stood still and looked at Baya hatefully. He gritted his teeth and was full of resentment. "You little B*TCH, no wonder your business is so good. You're relying on threats, aren't you?" Baya looked at the old man and said, "I'm not asking for much. Just sit down quietly and answer my questions. Then, I'll let your son see you at least once a week. Perhaps, he'll be able to see you every day." The old man furrowed his brows and said, "Can he really see me every day?" Baya nodded and said, "The prerequisite is that you have to tell me everything that's on your mind." The old man didn't really believe her and sat down on his seat. Baya took out her phone and turned on the recording function. Then, she placed the phone on the sofa and asked, "The reason you're stealing is so that your son can visit you, right?" The old man pursed his lips and didn't say a word. Baya wasn't in a hurry. She patiently waited for him to speak. "He's busy with work. Sometimes, he won't come back for a month or two. I call him to come back for dinner, but he won't come back," the old man said, feeling wronged. "If I asked you to work at your son's company, you might be opening the door or cleaning. Would you be willing to do that?" Baya asked again. "Yes, of course I'd be willing. We hired a housekeeper, but she can't even clean as well as I can. I know how to do many things. Not only can I clean, I can also cook. I used to be a chef, a head chef. When the villagers hosted banquets, there were dozens of tables and I was the one who cooked all of them," the old man said proudly. "There are a lot of Americans working at your son's company, right? I can also cook what Americans like to eat. There are a lot of Americans working at my son's company. I can cook a combination of Chinese and Western dishes," the old man said anxiously. "If I convince your son to let you cook, can you promise me that you won't steal anymore?" Baya asked again. "Of course I won't steal anymore. I'm a prideful person. If they scold me, I'll be angry," the old man said firmly. Baya smiled. "Actually, scolding people doesn't benefit you. In the future, if you treat your son's employees well, your son won't be able to chase you away even if he wants to. I'll talk to your son later. I hope that I won't have to see you next week." All right. Hurry up and tell him. If he agrees, I'll give you all my jewelry. In the future, it'll be inconvenient to wear jewelry when I cook. You can keep it for your daughter-in-law," Baya rejected. "You can go out first. I'll call him." Oh. Then I'll wait for you outside." The old man hurriedly went out. Baya called the old man's son. "Mr. Zhou, I'm Baya. Your father's problem is that he misses you very much, so he did some extreme things to gain your attention and care. Your attitude will directly affect his mentality. If you care about him, he'll become even worse. If you ignore him, he'll become pessimistic and disappointed. Then what should I do?" the other party asked worriedly. "He cares about you a lot and he doesn't ask for much. He just wants to see you and talk to you. But I'm very busy with work. I have a suggestion. He's a chef and can cook Chinese food or Western food. Coincidentally, you have a company. You can give your employees benefits and have lunch in the company. That way, your father will have something to do and he can help you win over the hearts of your employees. He'll also be able to see you more often. His health isn't very good. He has diabetes and high blood pressure. Then give him an assistant. He won't be too tired and he'll be happy. When he's happy, he'll get sick less. When he's unhappy, he'll have a mental breakdown. It's not good for his health either, Baya advised. All right then. I'll make the arrangements. Okay. Baya hung up. Open the door. The old man looked at her. How did it go? I agreed. The old man was elated. He gave a thumbs up to Baya. You're great. You live up to your reputation. I think you're amazing. Baya smiled and sent the patient away. She saw that it wasn't 11 yet, so she called Joan and went to the police station. When she got out of the car, she saw Gu Lingqing. He wore a black suit that accentuated his perfect figure. The collar, cuffs, and collar were all white. It looked like a military uniform. He was very handsome. Masculine, righteous, sharp, and cold. His gaze fell on her face. Their eyes met. Chapter 782. Did Cheong ask you to come? Baya asked. Yeah. He said that your time was brought forward, so he asked us to come earlier. Gu Lingqing walked towards her and looked at her deeply. I'm sorry, I had a patient in the clinic today. The treatment went well, so I changed the time at the last minute. If it caused you any trouble, I'll be more careful next time. Baya smiled. Yeah, Gu Lingqing replied. Baya's heart skipped a beat. It seemed that her behavior had really caused him trouble. She had to be more careful in the future. The two of them entered together. Gu Lingqing did not speak again. She was too embarrassed to speak again. The atmosphere suddenly became very awkward. She glanced at him, but he did not look at her. His side profile was cool, so she looked away. They were already in the past. He also wanted to erase the memory of her. He should have let it go. Since he had let it go, it was not appropriate for her to pick it up again. Perhaps it was better to let the past go with the wind. Xiaoya, let's have lunch together at noon, Gu Lingqing said. Ha! Baya glanced at him. Go to your place or to my place. Either is fine, Gu Lingqing said. Her heart was beating a little fast. She felt a little uneasy. Was this the final farewell? We'll see. Everyone might not be free at noon. Cheong said that he would treat us to lunch, Baya rejected politely. Then I'll go to your place at night, Gu Lingqing said. What she said was a statement. Baya was still a little flustered. She did not answer her. Seeing Shen walking over, she smoothly changed the topic and asked, Are they all here? Yeah, they're all here. Let's talk in the office, Shen said. Baya followed Shen into the office. Gu Lingqing looked at her deeply. Her eyes gradually dimmed. She still did not agree to his date. They all entered the office. Baya realized that only Ai Wei was there. Where are the others? They were responsible for the case of the drowned bodies last time. They went out to investigate in detail. Baya, your analysis is correct. After we processed the photos of these people, we sent out adult and child photos. Someone came to claim them. They said that they disappeared when they were 8 years old, Shin said. I hope the satellite can capture it soon. That way, we should be able to save a lot of people. Baya sighed. Yes, let me talk about this case. Shinning put down the projector. A girl with disheveled hair stood on the roof. A minute later, she jumped down from the roof. It's her, Baya said suspiciously. You know him? Shin was curious. I went out yesterday afternoon. When I was waiting at the traffic light, I saw her jump down from the roof. She jumped very decisively, almost without hesitation, Baya explained. This is the 8th case this year. We call it the invisible wings. These girls range in age from 16 to 25. What they have in common is that they are all very beautiful. They did not leave a suicide note before they jumped, and they all jumped without hesitation. We suspected that they entered the same social media site together, but we did not. These people did not appear in the same place at the same time. So, the case became confusing and unbelievable, Shin explained. What did their families and friends say? Baya asked. Oh, they also have a common characteristic. They were depressed before the incident. They were absent-minded and sometimes did not return home for the whole night. They would cry at the slightest provocation and have an emotional breakdown. We even suspected that they took some drugs together. But according to the forensic report, they did not take any drugs. However, the amount of cortisone in their bodies was higher than normal people. In other words, they were more or less suffering from depression. Shin continued and sent the information to them. Baya browsed and said, Go and check the love history of these girls. Investigate from their girlfriends. There must be something unusual. There must be a ghoul. The murderer is very cunning. He would not leave a mark on the internet. The places that could leave a mark can't be in a place with surveillance cameras, so, everyone was waiting for her answer, but she could not think of a suitable place to do it. In the suburbs, in the wilderness, on the road, you can meet them by chance, Gu Lingqing said. Baya agreed. You can ask if the girls have been to these places. Okay, I will ask the police here to focus on this investigation. Thank you, Shin said. Baya looked at the time. It was not 12 yet, and Cheong had not come. They were all staring at each other. Shin also felt that the atmosphere was a bit strange. He said, Cheong went out for a meeting this morning. I guess the meeting is not over yet. Then, can we go now? Ivy asked. Yes, I will call you again if there is any new progress. Tomorrow is the weekend. Have a good rest, Shin said with a smile. Baya nodded and glanced at Gu Lingqing. He looked at her too. Baya looked away awkwardly and stood up. Baya, are you free at noon? Ivy asked excitedly. Baya glanced at Gu Lingqing and asked politely, What can I do for you? I want to treat you to lunch, Ivy said shyly. I have something else to do at noon. Sorry, Baya declined with a smile. Ivy was a bit disappointed. Oh, it's okay. Let's do it another day. Okay. Baya walked out of the door and into her car. Gu Lingqing stood beside her. You have something to do at noon. Is it because of me? Didn't you say we were going to have lunch together? Baya asked awkwardly. She felt uneasy when she met Gu Lingqing's gaze. Yeah, let's go to my place. Baya nodded. Okay. You can drive and I'll follow behind. Gu Lingqing drove in the front and she followed behind. His driving route was the same as the one she had taken to get back. Baya was curious. He turned into his neighborhood and stopped in front of his house. Only then did Baya realize that the place where he lived was very close to her house. It was just behind her, 5 houses away. When did you move here? Baya was surprised when she heard the barking of a dog in the backyard. Xiao Bai, Baya shouted happily. Gu Lingqing didn't answer her question. In fact, after he recovered, he came to America to look for her. He knew that she bought a house here, so he also bought a house here. Recently, it was being renovated, so he was temporarily staying on the boat. Gu Lingqing opened the door. His house's renovation was not renovated at all. It was like a raw material. The walls were still cement without any paint. There was a gray sofa, a television, and a fridge. Is this close to nature? Baya asked jokingly. I wanted to renovate it according to what you like, so I didn't do much. I only renovated the kitchen and bathroom. If you don't like it, you can demolish it and renovate it again, Gu Lingqing said. He poured a glass of water and passed it to her. Chapter 783. Decorate according to what I want. Baya asked as she took the glass of water from him. Gu Lingqing looked at Baya deeply. In the past, you warmed up slowly and I warmed up even more slowly. This time, I want to warm up faster. I like you very much. I like you more than you can imagine. Baya put down the glass of water. You like me. Why do you want to erase my memory? Because I thought you got together with Alan. So, I don't want to destroy your happiness. But I will be sad, and unable to bear it. That's why I want to erase my memory, Gu Lingqing said seriously. It didn't sound like sweet talk. It sounded more like a narrative. Baya didn't know how to express herself. Her mind was a mess. I need to think about it. Gu Lingqing's eyes dimmed. Tell me when you understand. If you don't want to continue with me, I will leave America and go back. Baya had a strange feeling in her heart. It was an indescribable coldness. She should be reluctant. If she was reluctant, then she should want to be with him. I'll answer you tomorrow, okay? I'll cook first. Do you have any ingredients at home? Baya asked. You rest. I'll do it, Gu Lingqing said as he opened the fridge. There were a lot of ingredients in the fridge. They looked very fresh. He must have gone out to buy them in the morning. A tall man in uniform cooking. What kind of scenery would that be? Let me do it. I'm not tired. You were injured just now, Baya said as she took the ingredients to the kitchen. I'll help. Gu Lingqing followed her into the kitchen. He took the apron and passed it to her. Baya put it on and Gu Lingqing tied it for her naturally. She felt that this feeling was very familiar. She glanced at Gu Lingqing. His gaze flowed over her face. It was a very natural glance, but she felt warm. She washed the vegetables. Baya washed the vegetables at the side too. She felt that this scene was very familiar. She had to cut the vegetables. Let me do it. You often cut your fingers. Gu Lingqing said and took the knife from her hand. Her heart pounded fiercely as she watched Gu Lingqing skillfully cut the vegetables. She stood at the side and stared at him. At that time, when she was with Alan, she was actually unhappy. She would think of him, and when she thought of him, her heart would ache. But when she really saw him, one look from him would make her feel warm. He wanted to hypnotize her memory. Her heart also ached. She could lie to everyone, but she couldn't lie to herself. She didn't know why she wanted to hypnotize away the memory of him, but she was sure that she liked him. This feeling, no matter if she analyzed it rationally or emotionally, was real. She hugged him from behind. Gu Lingqing's whole body trembled. He was stunned, and his hands stopped moving. Baya didn't know why she suddenly hugged him, but when she hugged him, she felt a sense of security. Previously, she had been floating in the sky without any direction, without any emotions, as if she had transcended. However, she was the only one in the sky, all alone. Gu Lingqing put down the knife and turned to look at her. Baya still didn't let go. She looked at Gu Lingqing's deep eyes. From his face, she still couldn't tell what he was thinking. Why did we separate? Baya asked in confusion. I was seriously ill, so I left. When I got better and came back to know that you had left, I immediately came to America. When I came to America, I found out that you had forgotten about me, Gu Lingqing said in a low voice, and his eyes darkened a little. Bai Ye looked into his eyes and saw no trace of panic. Was he afraid that she couldn't bear his death, so she hypnotized herself? Let's try again. Bai Ye asked. We don't need to try. We'll do our best together, Gu Lingqing said, looking at her with a burning gaze. He lowered his head and moved closer to her lips. Bai Ye was nervous, but she didn't seem to reject it. If the person kissing her was Alan, her heart might feel twisted and uncomfortable. But, when it was facing him, she didn't feel uncomfortable. Gu Lingqing touched her lips. Bai Ye was stunned. His lips were very soft, like cotton candy. The breath he exhaled landed on her face. It was very familiar, very cold, and very clean. She didn't move. He was gentler than she thought. His tongue gently brushed against her lips, and slowly, it entered her mouth. Bai Ye's back stiffened. After he entered, he hooked her tongue and sucked it into his mouth. She didn't remember kissing anyone else, nor did she remember having sex with anyone else. So, she should only have him. Bai Ye thought of what would happen next. She was scared and pushed him away. Gu Lingqing didn't hide the desire in his eyes. What's wrong? We should cook. If we don't, I'll be hungry, Bai Ye explained. She turned around and went to the sink to wash the vegetables. Gu Lingqing hugged her from behind. Xiaoya, I'm very happy. Bai Ye looked at him. You don't look happy at all. The corners of Gu Lingqing's lips curled up slightly. Maybe it was because he was usually too cold and expressionless. It was rare for him to smile. She felt that he could turn the world upside down, and her heart started beating faster. What are you happy about? Bai Ye asked, puzzled. I thought that we would be separated for the rest of our lives, Gu Lingqing said with a smile, his eyes sparkling. Bai Ye could tell that he was really happy. Then, do you still want to cook? We have to eat after all. Gu Lingqing replied. He let go of her and continued to cut the vegetables. Bai Ye looked at him, and he also looked at Bai Ye. His gaze was much gentler than before. It was as if all the suppressed and hidden feelings were revealed. He stayed beside Bai Ye while she cooked. She was a little uneasy, so she would look at him from time to time. He would also look at her. I'll take the dishes later. It's too hot. There are only 2 of us, so we can cook less. Also, is the rice cooker ready? Bai Ye reminded him. Oh, I forgot. I'll cook it now. Gu Lingqing went out. Bai Ye heaved a sigh of relief. She felt more at ease without him around. She scrambled tomatoes and eggs, and then stir-fried potato strips. When Gu Lingqing came in, she was already cooking the meat. Gu Lingqing took the 2 dishes out. The room was filled with the aroma of meat. Even Little White was barking in the backyard. Gu Lingqing went back to the kitchen. She put in the cooking wine, soy sauce, and sugar. She was going to boil it on high heat before turning to medium heat to collect the sauce. Do you still need to wash the vegetables? Gu Lingqing asked. No need, we made 3 dishes. It's enough, Bai Ye said. Gu Lingqing replied. She didn't go out and just stood beside her. He looked at her thoughtfully. Bai Ye felt his gaze. You can rest for a while. Wait for me for another half an hour. It'll be done. I'm resting now. There's something I want to give you, Gu Lingqing said. He held her hand and put the ring in her palm. Chapter 784. Bai Ye looked at the ring. Aren't we moving too fast? We never divorced, Gu Lingqing said. Bai Ye was speechless. She was a little confused and said incoherently, we didn't divorce and you're going to erase my memory. Isn't that committing bigamy? I mean, you don't even remember that we didn't divorce. Before I erase my memory, I can cancel our marriage information with a call. You won't commit bigamy, Gu Lingqing explained seriously. Bai Ye felt that she was amusing. She didn't commit bigamy, so she didn't have to worry about it. She put the ring in her pocket. Gu Lingqing frowned. Aren't you going to wear it? Aren't you wearing it too? Bai Ye asked. Gu Lingqing immediately put the ring on her ring finger. Bai Ye thought for a while and returned the ring to him. Gu Lingqing's heart skipped a beat and his eyes darkened. Help me put it on, Bai Ye said. He instantly swept away the concealment in his eyes, smiled and helped her put it on. Bai Ye looked at the ring on her finger. Under the sunlight, it was reflecting the light. She suddenly remembered something. Mei Sr. said that you and I have 2 children. Can I see them? Xiao Yan has been living with his adoptive parents. Shou is with Mom. I called Mom and asked her to bring Shou here, Gu Lingqing said. Xiao Yan, the 7-year-old child. Why is he living with his adoptive parents? Bai Ye asked in confusion. Xiao Yan is not 7. He is 9. Shou is 15 months old. When you left, it was still winter. Now, summer is almost over. Gu Lingqing looked at her gently and said, as for why he is living with his adoptive parents, it's because you think that Xiao Yan wants to live with his adoptive parents more. When everything is over, he will bring everyone together. Bai Ye answered. 9 years old. Doesn't that mean they've been together for a long time? After braised pork with soy sauce was done, they began to eat. Are you still going to the research center in the afternoon? Bai Ye asked. I have something to tell you. Gu Lingqing's expression was very serious. I'm not a security guard at the research center. I'm from the investment research center, Gu Lingqing said. Bai Ye paused for a second. You are also the one who invested in 11. Yes, Gu Lingqing replied. Bai Ye hadn't expected this. Why did you do this? The research in the research center is beneficial to the whole world, and experts from all over the world are gathered there. As for the investment in the police station, they want to have a chance to contact you, Gu Lingqing said frankly. You. Bai Ye didn't know what to say. Are you rich? Yes. If you have so much money, why don't you support the development of your country? Bai Ye asked puzzledly. 90% of it is used for military development. I took over the special forces in the northern and southern regions to quell the civil unrest. Now, Hua Xiqian can control everything, Gu Lingqing explained. What do you mean? Bai Ye was confused. She thought for a while. You are a high-ranking official in your country. Isn't it inappropriate for you to walk around in the US like this? I'm just behind the scenes. I haven't officially announced it yet. I accepted the military to help Hua Xiqian overcome his difficulties. In the future, I want to be with you. If you stay in the US, I will stay. If you want to visit other places, I will accompany you. For the rest of my life, my time is all yours, Gu Lingqing said in a deep voice. Bai Ye listened to his confession calmly. She was surprised and didn't say anything. Let's eat. After the meal, he left her place and went to the clinic. She kept thinking about what he said. She felt that there was a deep sense of apology in his tone. It was as if he wanted to make it up to her. It made her feel uncomfortable. Unknowingly, she arrived at the clinic and went in. Dr. Bai, the patient in the afternoon can't come. Do you want to make an appointment with someone else? The assistant asked. There's no need. Baya went to the treatment room alone. She put on some music and lay on the sofa. She closed her eyes and emptied her mind to rest. Unknowingly, she fell asleep. When she woke up, her mind was clearer. She couldn't be afraid of the future because she was afraid of the past. She still had to move on in the future. She called Gu Lingqing. Gu Lingqing picked up the phone as soon as it rang. "Are you free now?" Baya asked. "Yes. I'm done with my work here. It's still early. I know a good place to fish. Want to go together?" Baya invited. Gu Lingqing smiled. "Sure. I might stay there tonight. I need to get some clothes. I want to bring you to a place tomorrow," Baya said with a smile. "Sure. See you in an hour." Baya hung up the phone. She went home and packed her luggage. Her phone rang. It was Gu Lingqing's. She picked up. "Take my car." "I'm at your house," Gu Lingqing said. Baya opened the door. She was carrying a suitcase and a big bag of luggage. Gu Lingqing looked at her bag in surprise. "You even brought a pot." "I caught some fish. I used the pot to cook it in the wild. It's very delicious," Baya said. Gu Lingqing took her luggage and put it in the back. "I still have a few bottles of water." "Wait a minute." Baya went back to get purified water. There were 15 liters. She took out 10 bottles. Gu Lingqing helped to carry them to the car. They set off. Baya navigated the address. "It's a bit far. It'll take 2 hours. But you won't regret it once you get there." "Yeah. I think we'll pass by the supermarket." "I'll go and buy some things," Gu Lingqing said. "Sure." They went to the supermarket. Gu Lingqing bought a tent, a lighter, beef jerky, dried vegetables, 2 bags of spaghetti, apples, lemons, and watermelon. Then, they set off. When they arrived at the location Baya mentioned, it was already 18:35 in the afternoon. The sky was getting dark. "Are we still going fishing at night?" Gu Lingqing asked. "If we fish now, we might be able to catch a fish before it gets dark." "We'll have fish to eat at night," Baya said. She took off her fishing gear. "Are we going to set up the tent here?" Gu Lingqing looked around. It was surrounded by mountains on both sides. The scenery was good. It was a little cold, but there would be a lot of mosquitoes. Luckily, he brought some mosquito repellent. "Yeah. After I catch a fish, we can bathe in the river. After that, we'll wash it down with clean water." Gu Lingqing frowned. "What if someone passes by?" Baya smiled and said, "I brought a prop here. No one can see it." Chapter 785. Baya put the fishing rod in place, took out a retractable rod from the bag, stuck the rod into the ground, and fixed it with a stone. There was a circle on the rod, and the circle was surrounded by opaque plastic. If a person went in, only their head would be exposed, and no one would be able to see what was inside. Gu Lingqing nodded. "It's indeed very convenient." Baya smiled. Seeing the buoy moving, he immediately took the rod. It was a 5-centimeter African cushion carp. Baya continued fishing. Gu Lingqing set up a tent and went to the edge of the forest to pick up a lot of dry wood. There were 2 stone circles 10 meters around the tent for firewood. This place looked very wild, and there might be wild beasts in the forest. With a fire, the beasts would not come close, and it could also repel mosquitoes. He also made a stone circle 10 meters behind, and placed a big tree trunk in it. This way, the tree trunk could burn for a night. When it was done, he set up a simple stone stove by the lake, put a pot on it, and boiled water. Bai Ye looked at Gu Lingqing's familiar look. Did you often live in the wild in the past? Gu Lingqing looked at Bai Ye. You and I used to live in the wild for a long time. Bai Ye was stunned. She liked living in the wild so much now. Was it because she had lived in the wild with him in the past? No wonder you look so familiar. I've already caught 5 fish, but they are not big. I'm not very lucky today. Bai Ye said apologetically. There are ham sausages in the fridge, and the braised pork that we didn't finish at noon. I've brought them all. Even if there are no fish, we can eat noodles. It's okay. Besides, 5 is enough. Gu Lingqing said. Ah, you've brought the braised pork too. There's a barbecue rack in the bag. Set up a stone stove later, and we'll grill the fish. Bai Ye said. Gu Lingqing went to her bag and took out the barbecue rack. There were all kinds of seasonings on the barbecue rack, and they were all wrapped together with plastic wrap. He took the things down. The biggest carp Bai Ye had caught today was only about 15 centimeters long. She cleaned the fish by the river and found a branch. She sharpened one end of the branch with a knife and inserted it into the belly of the fish. She took it out of the fish's mouth and roasted it on the grill. Gu Lingqing carried the braised pork out, placed it on the stone, and put the noodles in the pot. Smelling the aroma, Bai Ye sighed, if only we had 2 bottles of beer, today would be perfect. Wait a minute. Gu Lingqing stood up and moved a box of beer from the car. There were 12 cans in total. Bai Ye was curious. How many things did you bring? It's amazing. You brought everything I could think of. Gu Lingqing opened a can and passed it to Bai Ye. Bai Ye took a sip and exhaled. It feels so refreshing. Gu Lingqing drank a mouthful of beer with her. The sky was already dark and the surroundings were very quiet. It was so quiet that they could hear the crackling of the flames. Give me your hand, Gu Lingqing said. Bai Ye was in a good mood, so she passed her hand to him. He took out the mosquito repellent and applied it on Bai Ye's arm. Bai Ye laughed. I'm going swimming later. Wouldn't it be a waste to apply it? We'll stay here for 2 days. It's enough, Gu Lingqing said. He helped her apply it on the other hand and the exposed leg. We'll leave early tomorrow morning. We'll go to the top of the mountain. We'll be able to see the sunrise. It's very beautiful, Bai Ye said. Okay. After eating tonight, take a shower and go to bed early. My alarm is set for 5 o'clock. Is that okay? Gu Lingqing asked. Bai Ye made an okay gesture. She sprinkled some salt, cumin, and spices on the grilled fish. Then, she turned around and continued grilling. Gu Lingqing put some dried vegetables in the pot. Soon, the noodles were ready. Did you bring a bowl? Gu Lingqing asked. Yes. They're stainless steel bowls. There are 2 of them. The chopsticks are also stainless steel. You can look for them. If not, I'll go get them. Bai Ye stood up. It's okay. You'll be responsible for grilling the fish. Gu Lingqing stood up and took her bag. She brought a lot of things. Steel wires, ropes, flashlights, daggers, a space blanket, and a sleeping bag. He remembered that she also brought a suitcase. Your clothes are in the suitcase? Gu Lingqing asked. Yes. Bai Ye passed the grilled fish to him. This small fish should be ready to eat. Try it. It'll taste better if you tear it with your hands. Gu Lingqing took the fish from Bai Ye and tore it apart to eat. Bai Ye scooped 2 bowls of noodles and placed them on a rock. She asked, Have you eaten slabbed grilled meat before? Gu Lingqing shook her head. No. I came here with my colleagues. They made slabbed grilled meat. It's really delicious. We'll bring some grilled meat next time. I'll cook it for you, Baiya said. The corners of Gu Lingqing's mouth curled up. He thought of their life on the deserted island. Although they had nothing, they lived a comfortable and happy life. They didn't have any worries. They let go of everything and lived a happier life. Stress was given to oneself. The more one could not let go, the greater the stress. After eating, Baiya jumped into the water and swam. She did not even take off her clothes. Gu Lingqing also went into the water. The water in the lake in the forest was very clean. There was no pollution. Moreover, it was very cool. Baiya swam for 20 minutes. She went ashore first. She took out the clothes she was going to wear at night from her suitcase and put them on the circle. She opened a bottle of purified water and washed herself. She put on her clothes and came out. Gu Lingqing walked towards her. Take off your clothes later. I'll wash them for you, Baiya said. Where should I dry them? Gu Lingqing asked, puzzled. I forgot to put up the drying rack. I'm sorry, Baiya said apologetically. You can put it up tomorrow when you come back. It's hot, so it will dry easily, Gu Lingqing suggested. Okay. You wash first. I'll get you some water. Baiya put the dirty clothes on the rock. She went to get a bottle of clean water for Gu Lingqing. Gu Lingqing took a shower and changed into clean clothes. Baiya packed her things and found a problem. She originally wanted to sleep in the car. But now, Gu Lingqing prepared a tent. Are we going to sleep in the tent tonight? We'll sleep in the tent tonight. I remember there's a kind of tent that is fixed on the roof of the car. It's safer, Gu Lingqing said. She replied. Are we going to sleep together? Yes. Gu Lingqing walked past her and took the space quilt and mat from the train seat. He put the space quilt under the tent, put the mat on it, threw the space quilt she brought into the tent, and went in first. Baiya took a deep breath. She was already past the age of a young girl. She knew what would happen between a mature man and a woman. She didn't reject it that much, but she also felt awkward. She entered the tent. Gu Lingqing was already lying down. With the dim light, she could see that he was using his arm as a pillow. The quilt was on his stomach. It seemed that he was asleep. She lay down beside him and also pinched a corner of the quilt and put it on his stomach. Chapter 786. Baiya blushed before she could reply. She turned around and ignored him. Gu Lingqing turned around, hugged her waist, and pulled her to his side. He greedily smelled her scent and rubbed his face against her hair. Baiya felt his breath fall on her face, and the whooshing sound disturbed her mind. Gu Lingqing, it's hot, Baiya said. He moved her face and kissed her lips. Baiya's heartbeat quickened, but she didn't know why she didn't reject it. Gu Lingqing's movements became wilder and wilder, as if what happened next was natural. His palm went under her clothes and unbuttoned her back. Baiya was in a daze. She was dizzy from the heat and couldn't think of anything. Everything was under his control. When he went in, she slowly came back to her senses and cried out. It hurts. Okay, I'll slow down. Gu Lingqing kissed her face and lips. Soon, the pain stopped and was replaced by another pleasant feeling. I'm not in my safe period, Baiya reminded him. Gu Lingqing kissed her passionately and replied in a hoarse voice, I know, don't worry. Baiya didn't expect to have sex with him so soon, but everything seemed to happen naturally. There was no barrier in between. After that, Gu Lingqing washed up. She became shy and turned her back to him. Gu Lingqing faced her, hugged her waist, and kissed the back of her head. Sleep. Okay. Baya fell asleep in a daze. The next day, she was woken up by the alarm clock. The sky was just getting brighter. She turned her head and saw that Gu Lingqing was also awake. He opened his eyes and looked at her. For a moment, she felt very happy and smiled. Morning. Gu Lingqing also slightly raised the corner of his mouth and sat up. Morning. I'm going to brush my teeth and wash my face, Baya said. It's cold in the mountains for breakfast. Put on your coat, Gu Lingqing reminded her. Yes. Baya put on a coat, opened the tent, and came out. A cool breeze blew over, bringing with it the moist, fresh air of the mountains. Baya took a deep breath and felt very comfortable. Gu Lingqing also came out. After he boiled some hot water, he brushed his teeth and washed his face. Then, he put noodles in the pot and dried vegetables. Baya sat beside her. The light from the fire made her face blush. Today, we're going to climb to the top of the mountain and watch the sunrise. He first scooped a bowl of noodle soup for Baya to warm her stomach. He scooped a bowl for himself and sat beside her. Baya realized that although he wasn't a talkative person, he was actually very meticulous and would do anything. His actions warmed people's hearts more than words. Have you been to the top of the mountain before? Gu Lingqing asked. No, I've seen pictures taken by others. It's very beautiful, so I want to go to the top of the mountain to have a look, Baya said. When you go, prepare a dagger. There may be poisonous snakes and beasts in the mountains, as well as poisonous spiders. Protect yourself first. You'll follow me later, Gu Lingqing reminded her. Without Gu Lingqing, she would probably never be able to go to the top of such a mountain by herself. Because of him, she wanted to experience a different scenery. Okay. Baya followed Gu Lingqing's instructions. She wore a long coat and trousers, and tied the trousers' legs with a rope to prevent small insects from getting in. She wore a hat, and her neck was also protected. She also wore white rubber gloves. Gu Lingqing carried a backpack with some of the most basic things for survival in the wild. There were also 2 bottles of mineral water, a small bottle and a large bottle, and some beef jerky. Gu Lingqing walked in front, and Baya followed behind. Even though it hadn't rained in the past few days, some places on the mountain were still quite wet and slippery. Gu Lingqing walked very slowly. She cut off all the branches that blocked the way, and tried to walk in an open space. Fortunately, the mountain wasn't very high. The 2 of them climbed for 1.5 hours to the top of the mountain. The sun just came out from the sky. The scenery was so beautiful that it could attract everyone's eyes. Aren't you going to take pictures? Gu Lingqing asked. Feel it with your heart and see with your eyes. The scenery, the wind, the smell, and the people at this time. Take a few deep breaths, because taste is the thing that can stay in the memory for the longest time. When you think of this taste, you can remember the scene at that time. As for taking pictures, other people can take much better pictures than me, Baya said after taking a deep breath. Gu Lingqing also took a deep breath. She thought that the reason why she had sex with Gu Lingqing so naturally was that she was familiar with his smell, so she didn't reject it, wasn't afraid, and was sincerely convinced. Even though she had no memory of him, she still remembered his feeling. Let's go, Baya said. Wait a minute. Drink some water and eat something. It took some energy to climb up the mountain, and it took more energy to go down the mountain because the road was slippery, Gu Lingqing suggested and gave her a bottle of mineral water. It was a small bottle. He also gave her some beef jerky. Baya sat at the top of the mountain and ate the beef jerky. He raised a smile. What's wrong? Gu Lingqing asked confusedly. Now I can understand why so many people like to climb mountains. When you reach the top of the mountain, you have a sense of achievement. After eating noodles at the top of the mountain, your life will be complete, Baya said with a smile. If I had known earlier, I would have put a stainless steel bowl and brought some noodles, Gu Lingqing said. We can wait for next time. If it's not complete, it will be more memorable. When we go down the mountain later, can we make some traps in the forest? Maybe we'll be able to catch some prey at night, Baya said. I brought some fruits. We can use fruits as bait, Gu Lingqing said. And the beef jerky. The color of the beef jerky is not bright. If it is mixed with the soil, it will be hard for the animals to find it, Gu Lingqing reminded. Oh, then I'll eat it myself. Baya said with a smile. She looked at him and suddenly remembered what happened last night. Her heart beat faster and she lowered her head shyly. Gu Lingqing stood up and looked down at the mountain. Next time, let's go to the beach. This weather is a good time to catch crabs. Okay, I like it, Baya said with a smile. He knew that she liked it because the time on the deserted island was the happiest time they had ever spent together. After eating and resting for half an hour, they went down the mountain. When they were about to reach the lake, Gu Lingqing made 4 traps. Then the two of them came out of the mountain together. Looking at the time, it was already 9:15 in the morning. Baya felt hot. She wanted to swim, so she took off her coat. Gu Lingqing stopped her. Don't swim first. The water temperature is very low now. It's not good for your health. Wait until 3 or 4 in the afternoon. I saw a lot of fish coming over. Go and make traps. Help me pick some branches. Oh, okay. Okay, I'll go pick some branches. Baya listened to Gu Lingqing. The two of them went to pick a lot of branches. Chapter 787. Gu Lingqing was at the lakeside. There were cobblestones everywhere, and branches were inserted into them. They were densely packed together, forming the shape of an inverted conch. The outer layer was very narrow, and the inside was very wide. Fragrant fish feed was scattered inside, and the fish would follow the fragrance and enter. Once they entered, they would not be able to come out. After that, Gu Lingqing went to build a drying rack with branches, while Baya went to the other side of the lake to wash clothes. When the clothes were ready, Gu Lingqing had finished setting up the drying rack. She was a little hungry after drying her clothes. Looking at the time, it was already 11:35. Even though he didn't do anything, he felt that time had passed quickly and was very fulfilling. Do we have enough noodles? Baya asked. There's also a big bag. I bought 500 grams. Together with dried vegetables and braised pork, you can eat 2 meals. Baya smiled. I'm free in the afternoon. I hope I can catch enough fish to last until tomorrow afternoon. Let's go. I like camping here. Gu Lingqing also showed a faint smile. If you like, we can come here more often. Next time we come, we will be more prepared. However, if the weather gets too cold, don't go swimming. Didn't they say that winter swimming is good for the body? Baya asked in confusion and sat down beside him. Gu Lingqing was boiling water. She explained, it's good to swim in winter often. It can increase blood circulation, but it's hard to swim once. It's like losing half of your life. Many people get sick for half a month after swimming in winter. Oh. Baya replied, I'll go fishing first. The earlier I fish, the more I can catch. I'll go hunting in the forest later. I'll be back in the evening. If you find anything dangerous, stay in the car and wait for me, Gu Lingqing said. What about you? What if you're in danger? Baya asked worriedly. I can run 6 or 7 meters away from the trunk in 3 seconds. Besides, I have a saber with me. It won't be a problem, Gu Lingqing explained. Baya nodded. Don't go in for too long. We're leaving at noon tomorrow. It's okay if we can't catch any prey. I can still fish. Just go for 2 hours. Is that okay? He couldn't bear to leave her here for too long. After a meal, Baya went fishing while Gu Lingqing carried his backpack and set off. She looked at Gu Lingqing's back view. Perhaps because he was a soldier, she felt that he was manly, handsome, and gave her a sense of security. Her heart was also filled with warmth. She patiently fished. At 3:00, the fish she caught were not big, but she had caught more than 20 fish. At 3:50 p.m., Gu Lingqing came out of the woods and caught a pheasant. Baya was surprised and ran towards him. You caught it? Gu Lingqing nodded. It's not very big, but it should be enough for dinner. I'll go and see if there's any prey in our trap. That's great. Let's go and stew the pheasant first. I also caught more than 20 fish. It should be enough for dinner. Are there any fish in the trap? Gu Lingqing asked. Baya took the pheasant from Gu Lingqing's hands and replied, Not yet. I wonder if there are any. Gu Lingqing walked over to take a look. He stretched out his hand and grabbed it. There are 2. They don't look small. Ha! Baya carried the bucket over. Gu Lingqing grabbed the carp and placed it in the bucket. The carp looked to be about 5 to 6 catties. Looks like we won't be able to finish it, Baya said with a smile. Yeah, we can take it away if we can't finish it. The lake looks very clean. I'll go to the woods and be back in an hour. Okay. Gu Lingqing went into the woods to see if there was any prey in the trap. Baya prepared the pheasant first and put it in the pot to stew it. This kind of pheasant needed to be stewed for 2 hours before it would be soft and tasty. She prepared the pheasant and cleaned the fish. The fish she caught was not big, so she still wanted to eat grilled fish. However, the carp in Gu Lingqing's trap was a little big. She only killed one of them and cut it into thin slices. She marinated it first. Gu Lingqing came out of the woods and brought back another pheasant. Looks like we have a great harvest. We can have a good rest tomorrow, Baya said with a smile. Yeah, I took some time to dismantle the trap. It smells so good. Is the pheasant ready? Gu Lingqing asked. He looked at the time. It was only 16:20. Not yet. It needs to be stewed for another hour. Is there any dried vegetables? Baya asked. Yes, I brought a lot. I'll put it in half an hour. What are you going to do with this pheasant? Gu Lingqing asked. Leave it to me. You go for a swim and take a bath. We'll be done in the morning, Baya said with a smile and took the pheasant from Gu Lingqing's hands. She was good at cooking and preferred to do it herself. Gu Lingqing was sweating all over. He supported her and went for a swim. Baya cleaned the pheasant, cut it into 4 pieces and put them in a plastic bag. She remembered that there was a small fridge in Gu Lingqing's car. The pheasant would definitely not be finished today. She put it in the fridge and ate it tomorrow. It was still very fresh. Gu Lingqing came up. You go take a bath. I'll wash the clothes. Yeah, you should go for a swim too. The water is very cool, Gu Lingqing suggested. Okay. Baya also went in for a swim. After a bath, Gu Lingqing sat in front of the fire to roast the fish. Baya washed the clothes and hung them in the sun. She sat next to Gu Lingqing and sniffed. It looks delicious. Gu Lingqing passed the roasted fish to her. Be careful, it's hot. Baya took the fish, blew on it, and tore the meat from the fish's stomach to eat. Gu Lingqing looked at her. When we go back tomorrow, I want Mom to bring Shosho to America. What do you think? Baya's heart was beating very fast. I don't think I know your mother anymore. What will she think of me? She understands you and supports me to come to America to find you. You two had a very good relationship. Don't worry. Shosho is already 15 months old. He can walk and call mom and dad. Baya did not know how she should face them now that they were here. She was a little worried. Don't be afraid. I'm here, Gu Lingqing said in a low voice. Baya looked at his deep gaze. It was very powerful and firm. She compromised and nodded. Since we've decided to be together, we'll have to meet them eventually. Let them come. When are they coming? I want to arrange for it to be next Sunday. What do you think? Gu Lingqing asked. That's good. I'm more free on the weekends. Baya said and ate the fish. Actually, her heart was beating faster than she thought. She was not as calm as she thought. She was a little worried that if her mother and child came, it would trigger her memory. Chapter 788. What's wrong? Gu Lingqing noticed something. You don't want to. I'm feeling conflicted. I want to see them, but I'm afraid to, Baya said honestly. You'll have to see them eventually, Gu Lingqing said. She could tell that he wanted her to see them. Since he was so calm, did that mean that their past was actually good? Baya smiled and repeated his words. Yes, you'll have to see them eventually. What are you going to do with the fish over there? Gu Lingqing changed the topic. Baya looked at the fish she was preparing. I'm going to make teppanyaki. I've already marinated it. The fish should be very tender. Wait a moment. She found her bag and found a round piece of iron inside. This can be used to make teppanyaki. I've made it before when I was alone at home. It's not bad. Put it on a rock first. It'll be hot soon, Baya explained. She washed the iron plate first and put it on the rock. She washed the marinated fish, brushed a little oil on the iron plate and put the fish on it. The fish turned white in a while. She sprinkled some seasoning on it and put a piece of fish into Gu Lingqing's bowl. Try it. It looks like a barbecue on paper. It looks good. Gu Lingqing took a bite and nodded. It tastes good too. Baya smiled. I like to eat fish. When I'm alone at home, I make fish like this too. One person can eat an entire crucian carp. Shosho likes to eat fish too. That's like you. Then you must get rid of the fish bones. Oh yeah, there's a type of fish called ong. It's delicious and nutritious. It's delicious in soup or tofu, Baya suggested. Gu Lingqing smiled. Shosho likes to eat this type of fish the most. One person can eat 3 of them. Ah. Baya responded. She didn't know why, but her heart was filled with warmth when she heard Gu Lingqing say that. She continued to fish. Gu Lingqing looked at the pot. The chicken soup should be almost done. If I keep cooking, there will be no soup left. Yes, yes. I'll do it, said Baya. Let me fill it up. Be careful, it's hot. Gu Lingqing took her bowl, filled it up, and handed it to her. Baya saw a car driving over. Someone's coming. Gu Lingqing looked over and saw that there were quite a few cars, 3 of them. Do people come here often? I think so. I came here last time with a friend, Baya said. The car stopped and a blonde American man got out of the car. When he saw Baya, he took the initiative to greet him. Baya, you're here. What a coincidence. Yeah, Benny, have you had dinner? Baya asked. Benny shook his head. We drove for 2 hours, so we don't have any yet. But we bought a lot of barbecue, so it's convenient. Benny's gaze fell on Gu Lingqing's face. Boyfriend? Yes, Baiya admitted. Then let's get busy. We'll talk later, Benny said. Benny said as he led the other 7 people to set up tents and start a fire. He's my classmate from America. He studied psychology too. After he finished his studies, he went back home and started a company in the red wine business. The business is quite good, Baiya said to Gu Lingqing. And Gu Lingqing replied. He looked at Baiya deeply. In fact, he didn't like it when others came to ruin their world. Next time, we'll continue to look for a better place. Baiya nodded and ate the chicken in her bowl. Benny walked over and said to Baiya and Gu Lingqing, they asked me to invite you over. Baiya remembered that she came with Benny and his friends last time. Although the people this time were different, they were still Benny's friends. Sure, I have grilled fish here. There's a lot of it. Let them eat first. Baiya gave them 16 skewers of grilled fish. Benny took them and distributed them to his friends. Benny walked over and looked at Baiya's pot. You brought a pot. It smells good. Is it chicken? You even brought a chicken here. Gu Lingqing understood what Benny meant. Do you have bowls? Come and get a bowl. But the 8 of you might not be enough. This chicken isn't very big. It's enough, it's enough. I have disposable bowls. I'll let them eat first to fill their hunger. Later, when we get the barbecue, we can eat together, Benny said and waved his hands at his friends. When they all got a bowl, the pot was gone. Gu Lingqing looked at Baiya. Are you full? It's okay. It's like eating barbecue later. How about you? Are you full? Baiya asked. I ate a lot of fish. Plus, there's still some fish fillets. Just as Gu Lingqing finished speaking, Benny appeared behind them again. Can we try that fish fillet of yours? It smells really good. Oh. Baiya answered casually. Benny's friends lined up again, but there weren't many fish fillets left. They only had a few pieces each. Gu Lingqing and Baiya were gone again. Baiya looked at the grilled fish. Luckily, there were still a few left. Benny's friends didn't ask and took them all. Baiya was speechless. Gu Lingqing looked at Baiya. I'm going to clean up and pack up. I'll bring you somewhere. Okay. I'll clean up. I'm good at it, Baiya said. She took the pot and went to the lake to clean it. Gu Lingqing didn't stop her and tore down the tent. Are you guys leaving now? Benny asked. Gu Lingqing nodded. We're going somewhere else tonight. Can you leave it for us? It's not convenient for us to have a man and a woman. It'll be convenient with this, Benny said. I'm sorry. I'm afraid it's not convenient. We'll need it when we go somewhere else. Gu Lingqing rejected him directly. Oh. Benny's expression was a bit sour. He saw Baiya wash the dishes and pot and said, Baiya, can you lend us this pot? We still need it tomorrow. Gu Lingqing rejected on behalf of Baiya. Benny was speechless. What about the fishing tools? You're not going to fish tomorrow, are you? Benny asked. We do need to fish tomorrow. I'm sorry. Gu Lingqing rejected them all. You don't want the fish, right? I see there's a big carp in the tank, Benny said. Indeed, I can give it to you. Take it, Gu Lingqing said. Gu Lingqing said. He watched as Benny grabbed the fish in the water tank and walked into the group of friends. Gu Lingqing organized the things and Baiya helped. In the end, when Gu Lingqing went to remove the trap in the lake, he found a surprise. Xiaoya, take the tank. Chapter 789. Gu Lingqing caught a fish that was more than a foot long. "Wow, this fish is delicious," Bai Ye exclaimed. Gu Lingqing caught another perch more than a foot long. Bai Ye was pleasantly surprised. Gu Lingqing caught 3 in total. Seeing this, Benny and his friends walked over. Gu Lingqing dismantled the trap. Benny's friend whispered something to Benny. Benny walked over and said, "You're still fishing tomorrow, right?" Bai Ye looked at Gu Lingqing. "We're fishing tomorrow," Gu Lingqing answered. "Then give us these fish." "We have a lot of people, so we can finish them," Benny said. "We're going to fish from the sea tomorrow, so we still need these freshwater fish." "I'm sorry," Gu Lingqing refused. Benny was speechless. "Why are you so stingy? These fish are from the lake, and you're not even willing to give them to us." "It's not like we're asking for your money," Benny's friend said. Gu Lingqing ignored him and carried the box to the car. "Bai Ye, you're not a good boyfriend. You don't know how to behave," Benny provoked. Before, Bai Ye wasn't angry. She didn't want to reject them when they asked for something, so she just let them take it. However, provoking them was a bit too much. "Then do you know how to behave?" Bai Ye's face turned cold and she asked back. Benny paused. "What do you mean?" Benny's friend said angrily. "He asked us for things again and again, and scolded us if we didn't give it to him. He's protecting my things. Why doesn't he know how to behave? Does he have to give it to you?" Bai Ye said coldly. "Yo, you be *tch. We gave you some face, but you really think you're a son of a b *tch. We're taking these fish. I advise you to leave the fish or else you'll have bones to eat today," Benny's friend said bossily. Gu Lingqing saw them bullying Bai Ye, so she immediately went over and protected Bai Ye behind her. "Do you think it's useful to have a man? There are 8 of us here. Since we like your fish, we will give you face. Leave the fish and get lost," Benny's friend said. "Benny, your friend is this kind of person. Can't you tell the good from the bad?" Bai Ye said sternly. Benny also felt that it was too much. "Forget it, we can catch the fish ourselves." "I want this fish today," Benny's friend said, looking at Benny's other friends. Some of his friends rolled up their sleeves, while others took out iron rods from their cars. "Gu Lingqing, let's go." Bai Ye was worried about Gu Lingqing. "Xiaoya, wait for me in the car," said Gu Lingqing. "But you, Tinghua, I'll be fine." Gu Lingqing promised, his sharp gaze sweeping across them. Bai Ye wanted to get a weapon from the car to help Gu Lingqing, so she walked towards the car. The man with the iron rod hit Gu Lingqing. Gu Lingqing dashed forward and hit the man's armpit. The man retreated a few meters and knelt on the ground. The others saw that their friend was hit, so they joined in. In just 5 minutes, everyone was on the ground, except for Benny, who hadn't made a move. Bai Ye wanted to help, but it seemed that she didn't need to do anything. When they were on the sea, she could feel that he was very good. There were more than 10 of them, and they were all good at swimming, but they couldn't beat him, let alone on land. But she didn't expect that he was so good behind him. In an instant, he had beaten the other party. Benny's face was pale, and the corner of his mouth twitched. "We're all friends. Benny, you'll be marked by the company you keep. You study psychology too. You know what kind of person they are, and what kind of consequences they will bring you. You're on your own," said Bai Ye. She turned around and left with Gu Lingqing. The sky was already dark. After the fight just now, their emotions were still agitated, and neither of them spoke. Half an hour later, Bai Ye spoke first. "I'm sorry. It's not your fault. Those people appeared suddenly. There are many accidents in life, and we can't control them. What we can do is to stay together and overcome all difficulties together, Gu Lingqing said meaningfully. Bai Ye was an extremely smart person. She understood what he meant. Was it an accident that we separated? Yes, there was a bullet in the back of my head. You thought I would definitely die, said Gu Lingqing. His eyes darkened, and there was a faint mist in them. He didn't want to talk anymore. He looked at the front and pursed his lips. Bai Ye was also faintly sad. She skipped this heavy topic. Where are you taking me? That place is a bit far. You sleep for a while. I'll wake you up when we get there, said Gu Lingqing. Okay. Bai Ye put down the chair and closed her eyes. Gu Lingqing stopped the car and rearranged the things. He put down all the chairs at the back and made a bed. You sleep at the back. It'll be more comfortable. Remember to cover yourself with a blanket, said Gu Lingqing. Okay. Bai Ye lay down at the back. Gu Lingqing covered Bai Ye with a blanket. He drove and made the window smaller. They continued driving. Because she had been busy the whole day, she was also a little tired. She closed her eyes and fell asleep soon. Gu Lingqing drove for 5 hours. It was almost 12:00 when they reached the destination. It was too late. He didn't make the tent. He put the luggage on the passenger seat. Bai Ye opened her eyes. Are we there? Yeah, we'll make do for today. We'll sleep in the car, said Gu Lingqing. Okay. Bai Ye closed her eyes and continued to sleep in a daze. The next day, she heard birds chirping. When she opened her eyes, the sky was just getting brighter. Gu Lingqing was sleeping beside her. He slept late last night. She didn't wake him up and let him continue sleeping. When she opened the back door, she was stunned by what she saw. They drove to the top of the mountain. At first glance, there was a huge sea. In front of the sea was a green brook. Above the green trees was mist. This scene was like a fairyland. It was too beautiful. It was so beautiful that her eyes were wet. Gu Lingqing got up and sat beside her. He said in a hoarse voice, "Morning. I'm sorry I woke you up. Sleep a little more." It's still early, said Bai Ye. Gu Lingqing looked at the time on his watch. It's okay. This bit of time is enough. How did you find this place? It's so beautiful. It's 100 times more beautiful than the previous place. Compared to this place, the previous place could only be considered a leisure place, said Bai Ye. A long time ago, when I was on a mission, I stopped here for a short while. I felt that this place is very beautiful. When the sun comes out later, you can see the colorful red in the mist below, said Gu Lingqing as he got out of the car. Chapter 790. Gu Lingqing put the tent under the shade of a tree and built a stone stove with stones. Bai Ye went over to help inside. The only flaw is that there is no lake. Gu Lingqing smiled. Do you see the beach over there? If we have time, we can climb down there. It will take us about 2 hours, but we have to leave in the afternoon. So, we can go there on our next vacation. Yeah, it's so beautiful here. It's enjoyable to rest in such an environment. You rest for a while. I'll call you when I'm done with breakfast, Gu Lingqing said. I'm good at cooking. Do you have any noodles? There's still some left. Let's just have breakfast and have a good lunch. Then, we'll go back. Bai Ye let Gu Lingqing do the cleaning when she was doing breakfast. She went to find some wood and branches. She sharpened the top of the branches and washed them with water. The sun rose. She put down her work and walked to the side. The sky was red at first. The sun shone through the clouds. White light could be seen clearly. It seemed to be very close. All of a sudden, the sun seemed to jump out of the clouds. A rainbow really did appear above the forest, and the mist rose. Nature is amazing. Baiya sighed. Gu Lingqing looked at her and held her hand. From now on, we'll be together every day. We'll watch the sunrise together. We'll make breakfast together. We'll have lunch together. We'll have dinner together. We'll take a walk together and sleep together. We'll grow old slowly. It was supposed to be very simple, but when it came out of Gu Lingqing's mouth, she felt very warm and happy. After watching the sunrise, Baiya looked at Gu Lingqing. He looked at her as well and smiled slightly. I want to drink fish soup at noon and then skewer the chicken. I think the grilled fish yesterday was delicious. Can I make that? Gu Lingqing asked. Of course. They brought a lot of water. It was enough to make a meal. After dinner, Baiya and Gu Lingqing were resting in the tent. Gu Lingqing, there's one more thing in my heart, Baiya said softly. What? Gu Lingqing turned around and looked at her. I want to see Lu Shuang, but I'm afraid to see her. It feels like I owe her something, but I can't remember what it is. Do you know what I owe her? Baiya asked softly. Gu Lingqing nodded. Why? Baiya asked. Lu Shuang and Shani Yan are a couple. Do you remember that? Gu Lingqing asked. Baiya shook her head. She seemed to have forgotten 80% of the things in the past. Didn't Lu Shuang not like Shani Yan? Then he liked Shani Yan. You helped him get rid of Sheng Dongchang and Zhuchuani. Shani Yan could have been the president, but because of Lu Shuang, he failed. Buhua became the president. You told Buhua to let Shani Yan go after a year and let him reunite with Lu Shuang, Gu Lingqing explained. Has Shani Yan been let go? Baiya asked curiously. No. Is it because it hasn't been a year? Gu Lingqing was silent and didn't say anything. Baiya looked at Gu Lingqing. It's been more than a year. It's just that he hasn't been let go for some reason. If he hasn't been let go for a year, then he won't be let go in the future. Buhua was worried that Shani Yan would cause a bloodbath if he went out. Plus, you weren't here, so, Baiya closed her eyes. Actually, she knew that politics was just that cruel. There was an idiom about enduring hardships. After King Gojian was captured by King Wu, he lay on a haystack and suffered. He told himself that his life was tough and that he had to be patient and not forget about his current life. He was King Wu's groom and kept a low profile. He didn't resist at all. After King Wu let him go, he destroyed Wu country. Hence, he didn't let go because he was afraid. The more he was afraid, the more he was afraid. The future was always unpredictable. Gu Lingqing, let's go back, Baiya said. Ha! Now? It's still early. We can rest for a while after we wake up, Gu Lingqing said. Baiya sat up and looked at Gu Lingqing. I'm not talking about going back to America. I'm talking about going back to country A. Gu Lingqing looked at her deeply and sat up slowly. Have you thought it through? Baiya nodded. Do everything you can to improve the military. Even if Shani Yan is released, because of you, the president can still sit on the throne. You hate being involved in politics the most, Gu Lingqing reminded her. People change. They change according to the environment, mentality, situation, and status. I don't know why I hated politics so much. But if Lu Shuang likes Shani Yan, I should be on good terms with Shani Yan. I want to save Shani Yan. You've always wanted to save Shani Yan. Baiya held Gu Lingqing's hand. You're a soldier. You have your duty to protect the country. The blood of a soldier flows in your veins. It's because you gave up what you love. Because you're my favorite, Gu Lingqing said in a low voice, looking at her with a burning gaze. She believed that his eyes were sincere, deep, and calm. Faintly, there was a hint of sadness and caution. She must have hurt him badly. I still have my child in country A. I don't know why I gave up everything and left. But now, I can't let go of my child. So, I want to go back to country A, Baiya said. When do you want to go back? I want to finish all the cases on hand. Otherwise, it's not suitable for them to follow me to country A. My senior will come back to America in a few days to help me manage the clinic. Can you help with Cheong's contract? Baiya asked. It's fine as long as I don't withdraw my investment. Cheong will give me face, Gu Lingqing said with certainty. Well, then there's no problem. Baiya lay down. Gu Lingqing lay down too and used his arm as a pillow for her. Baiya turned over, put her hand on his waist, and closed her eyes. People were strange. When she had nothing in her heart, she would be very calm, and her life would be dull and carefree. All she could do was smile and watch the leaves fall in the courtyard. She wanted to empty herself, not think about anything, live a simple life, and avoid loneliness. She wanted to be strong enough that she didn't need anyone's company. But there was always a place in her heart that was very empty. Sometimes, she felt inexplicably melancholic. When she had Gu Lingqing in her heart, she knew that there would be a lot of trouble and tiredness in the future. But she still wanted to give it a try. There was no next life, but she would not let down this life. She just hoped that there was nothing in her past that she couldn't bear. Chapter 791. They went back at 3 in the afternoon. When they reached home, it was already 7:30. After returning home, Baiya cooked and cleaned the house. Gu Lingqing went back to see Little White and fed him. Little White barked in hunger. Gu Lingqing patted Little White's head. His eyes were filled with pity. I'll bring you wherever I go in the future. Woof woof. Little White barked. Let's go to your real owner's house. Gu Lingqing placed the dog cage in the car and brought the dog with him. He drove to Baiya's house. Baiya was still cleaning the house. Gu Lingqing placed the kennel in the backyard and helped Baiya water the flowers. Baiya stood beside him and looked at the flowers that she had taken care of. They are the ones that I can't bear to leave. You can let your seniors live in the house. Firstly, they can help you open the house. Secondly, they can help you take care of the flowers and plants, Gu Lingqing suggested. Good idea, Baiya replied. Come over for dinner later. We'll have egg fried rice tonight. Baiya said and turned around. Woof, woof. Little White saw Baiya and barked at Baiya. Baiya saw Little White and was surprised. You brought him here. Baiya squatted down. Little White ran towards her and came to her hand. Baiya scratched Little White's chin. Little White squinted his eyes comfortably. Baiya was happy too. She smiled and stood up. I'll go back to cook first. Gu Lingqing nodded. She went in and made a simple egg fried rice. She put diced chicken and eggs, shredded potatoes and green peppers. At night, Gu Lingqing stayed at Baiya's house. They went to bed early as they were tired from the journey. The next morning, Baiya woke up at 6 and realized that Gu Lingqing was no longer by her side. She woke up early, but Gu Lingqing was even earlier than her. She opened the window and saw Gu Lingqing practicing boxing in the backyard. She smiled. After brushing her teeth and washing up, she changed into casual sportswear and ran to him in the backyard. When a martial artist was training, even the person closest to him shouldn't stand behind him. It was muscle memory, and he might be accidentally injured. She had to stand in front of him and learn from his moves. And learn from him. Gu Lingqing looked at her well-behaved manner and raised a faint smile. His movements were firm, and his eyes were gentle. He made a move and stopped. Bai Ye imitated his moves and stopped moving. Gu Lingqing held her hand and corrected her posture. The temperature of his palms was very high. Due to long-term training in martial arts and holding a gun, his palms had calluses. When he held her hand, she could feel the roughness. But it was precisely this kind of man that made people feel very safe and warm in their hearts. She was a smart person and had a strong ability to understand. She could do it right after he taught her once. Gu Lingqing touched her nose and said lovingly, "Smart." "Continue," Bai Ye said and continued to learn. It has been 2 hours since a set of Wing Chun boxing was finished. Bai Ye was sweating. "I'm going to take a shower first. I'll come back tonight and continue." "Okay." Gu Lingqing nodded. As soon as she walked into the living room, she heard her phone ringing. She picked up her phone and found that Shen had called her 3 times. She was practicing martial arts in the backyard, so she didn't hear it. She answered the phone. "Bai Ye, can you come to the police station in the morning?" Shen asked. "I have a patient at 9 o'clock, so I have to arrive at 10:30. You'd better remember my schedule in the future." Bai Ye reminded him. "We found a very important piece of information, but we can't be sure if it's the murderer." Shen explained. "You don't have to call me so early if it's something important or urgent. I won't change my schedule unless it's urgent. Do you understand?" "See you at 10:30, Bai Ye said and hung up. She looked at the time. It was already 8:25. She had to take a shower quickly and buy some bread on the way to the clinic. Otherwise, she would be late. She walked into the bathroom, took a shower, and saw the steamed buns on the table. She was surprised. "Where did you buy this?" "There are also shops opened by people from Country A," Gu Lingqing explained. "You can have a simple meal. It will only take 10 minutes for me to take you to the clinic. You still have 10 minutes for breakfast. You won't be late." "Did you buy it nearby? Why didn't I find such a shop?" Bai Ye said in surprise. She went to the kitchen and poured some vinegar. "No, it's a little far. It takes about 20 minutes to get there." "So?" Bai Ye was even more curious. "You went there by rocket." Gu Lingqing was amused by her. "I bought it at 5:30 and left it on the table. You woke up late, so I didn't wake you. When you went to take a shower just now, you found it cold, so I went to heat it up." "Ah." Bai Ye understood. She was in a hurry to practice martial arts with him, so she didn't notice the steamed buns and tofu pudding on the table. She answered the phone just now and was in a hurry to take a shower, so she still didn't see the steamed buns. Previously, when she was researching the brain's heaviness, she discovered that when one's attention was focused on one place, everything else around them would be ignored. Everything would be frozen on the computer screen like a photo, but the only thing that could be remembered was what they saw when they were focused on it at that time. At this time, hypnosis is to let the subconscious enter the frozen image. The information may be vague, but it can find some images that we can't remember. So, she was like this just now. There were steamed buns in her sight, but because she was focused on other things, the steamed buns were ignored. She quickly finished her breakfast, and Gu Lingqing sent her to the clinic. In the future, when we wake up in the morning, the first thing we do is eat breakfast. Otherwise, eating too fast is not good for the stomach, Gu Lingqing said. Yes, it takes 28 days to form a habit. When I go back, I need to make a new plan. I want to practice martial arts, and I want to continue taking care of flowers and plants. I'll go to your military base and be in charge of psychology. I'll take care of our child. That's good. Gu Lingqing didn't reply, but his gaze softened. This kind of date was indeed good, and it was the life of his dreams. After a while, Baiya arrived at the clinic. It was 9:02, and the little boy was already there. Baiya smiled at him. Come with me. The little boy locked his eyes with Baiya and went to the treatment room. Baiya poured him a glass of water and sat opposite him. Have you seen that man recently? The little boy shook his head. Ever since I chatted with you, I'm not afraid of him anymore, but he doesn't appear anymore. I don't think I'll see him again, right? Not necessarily. When your willpower is not strong enough, he'll come out. But when he comes out, you don't have to be afraid. Try your best to stare at him. Look at the illogical parts of him, and you'll know that this person is actually vulnerable. You can make him disappear with just your mind. He's fake, and he doesn't have any strength, Baiya said with a smile. Chapter 792. If it's possible, I would like to do an abnormal treatment for you. I would enter your subconscious so that you would be awake the entire time, Baiya suggested. The boy was a little afraid. If he comes out, he might do something to hurt you. Baiya smiled. This person is a figment of your imagination. You can defeat him, and you can protect me. I believe in you. The boy nodded. He nervously drank all the alcohol in the glass. Baiya poured him another glass of water and mixed the medicine. She passed it to him. Drink it all in one gulp. The boy listened and drank it all. He looked at Baiya worriedly. Baiya sat opposite him, tapping her fingers on the table and looking at him quietly. The boy ate the medicine and was a little sleepy. He closed his eyes. Galen, tell me, what do you see? Baiya guided him. A house, a 2-story building. It's really scary and desolate. There's a dead tree at the door with a crow on it. There are dark clouds above the house. It's so dark that it looks like it's going to press down, Galen said. Open the door and see what's inside. Baiya said. Galen's entire body was trembling. Baiya held his hand. Don't be afraid, I will be here. No one will hurt you. Galen calmed down. Baiya didn't let go. What do you see? It's dark, really dark. I can't see anything, I can't see anything. Close your eyes and look with your heart. I see that woman. She's lying on the bed. She asked me to wear her dress. I want to kill her. Galen said viciously. He opened his eyes and looked at Baiya with a murderous aura. He hollered, what do you want? You want to kill me. Baiya was shocked. She let go and looked at Galen suspiciously. Her eyes met his fierce gaze. It's not that I'm going to kill you. You're the one who's going to harm him again. If you show up again, he'll be done for. After that, don't come here to see me. Go to the prison, Baiya said. As long as you don't harm us, nothing will happen to us. Women are all despicable things that say one thing and mean another. I'm going to kill you. Garen charged forward. Although he was only 14 years old, his body was as strong as an adult man. Baiya was no match for him at all. Baiya smiled. Can you kill him? Look at where you are. This is heaven. All sins will be destroyed. Don't harm Garen. Hurry up and leave. In the future, he can still go to heaven. If you stay by his side, you will only drag him to hell. Those who have done such things will all be in hell. Your stepmother. What nonsense are you spouting? This is not heaven. This is clearly your office, and you still want to lie to me. Galen said angrily. Galen, you've never trusted me. You've been defensive. You were afraid that I would find out that you killed your stepmother, Baya said straightforwardly. So, everyone who finds out will die, including you. If I die, do you think you can escape? If I die, you will be arrested because you killed me. Not only will you not live, but you will also live in fear before you die. The only one who can save you now is me, Baya said, staring at him sharply. I don't believe you. My treatment process here is recorded. Baya opened the pinhole camera installed on the sofa. Your every move has been recorded and uploaded. If you kill me, everyone will know that you did it. You won't be able to escape. However, as long as you leave Garen, he will be safe. Garen stared at Baya. Baya looked back at him calmly. I still don't believe you. You should believe me. After all, after I found out that you were a murderer, I didn't abandon you. Instead, I stayed here with you and helped you. If I wanted to harm you, you would be finished if you left now. Right, Galen? Baya said. Galen's gaze loosened a little. Galen, if you can't defeat evil, you can only be destroyed. The evil now isn't protecting you, but harming you. Galen stared at Baya. Think about it. Without evil, you can live like a normal child. With evil, you will soon become a prisoner, Baya guided. Galen looked at Baya in a daze. His eyes flickered intensely. You know what you should do. Do you see? This evil person is actually your evil thoughts. He is harming you and devouring you, Baya said. She watched as Galen fainted and lay on the sofa. She stared at Galen and said, when you hear the clapping, you can wake up. She clapped her hands. Galen opened his eyes and looked at Baya in a daze. Was that person me? What did you do to your stepmother? No. Tell me the truth. I'm helping you, Baya asked. My stepmother abused me. She made me wear a red dress and then let her play with me on the bed. My father came back and killed her in anger, Galen said. You lied about the confession. Who was the other male victim? It was my stepmother's lover. They played with me. I was very scared. My father told me not to say, Galen said sadly. Baya understood. Many cases showed that many victims would become abusers. This was a form of emotional release. Galen knew that it wasn't good, so he split into a violent personality. He hated women, especially women who wanted to have sex with him. In the future, you will get better. You will know that the person is you. But you have to control it. You can't let it come out again. He will destroy you. If he didn't destroy you, you wouldn't have come here. Right, Galen? Baya said gently. Galen nodded. If you feel bored, go out and play basketball. Do what you like. You will achieve your goals. That is the right way to go and you will find happiness. Can I come again next week? Galen asked in anticipation. My fees aren't low. Your mother found me to cure you. From this, you can see that she really loves you. Do you really want to hurt someone who loves you? You don't have to come here anymore. I will wait for you to grow up and become an outstanding person, Baya said with a smile. Galen was a little disappointed. Baya patted his shoulder. Hi, boy. You have to become someone that others look up to and not look up to. Good luck. Galen nodded and became high-spirited. Good luck. Baya opened the door to send Galen off. She saw that Gu Lingqing was actually there. Did he not leave after sending her here? She smiled. She walked towards Gu Lingqing. You didn't leave. He replied in a low voice. Chapter 793. Gu Lingqing, Baiya shouted. Yeah, Gu Lingqing replied. Baiya smiled. I'll call Cheong now. Gu Lingqing looked at the time on his phone. That's good too. This way, we can eat with more peace of mind. Baiya contacted Cheong and went to the police station. Shen called the others over and sent them the information. We found it. These girls went to XX Road together. This road leads to a remote beach. There's a large gap between the surveillance cameras on the road. AI tracked the car of the last girl and realized that she passed some distance away from the person with the license plate number XXX01. We checked the car and found that the license plate was used. Hence, we suspect that there's something wrong with that person. That person is very cautious and is very familiar with XX Road. He knows where there are surveillance cameras and where there aren't. The girls he targeted have a few things in common. 1. They're all young. 2. They're all very pretty. 3. They don't have many friends. 4. They're materialistic. 5. They're rebellious. 6. They're too ambitious, Baiya analyzed. So, Baiya, what do you think we should do next? Shen asked. Since we know which road he's been on, it'll be easy. We can find a pretty girl to lure the criminal, Howard suggested. Rui looked at Baiya. You're the only girl here. I don't agree, Gu Lingqing objected. It was too dangerous. He didn't want Baiya to commit such a crime. I don't fit the type of target that the murderer would choose. I don't fit the criteria. You can find one in the police station. I've told you the conditions, Baiya said rationally. All right, I'll look for one first. Then, I'll lure the murderer. After that, we'll need your help, Baiya. Maybe it'll be during your working hours, Shen said. Baiya nodded. She had already treated all the patients in her clinic. She wouldn't be accepting any patients anymore. There should be time in the future. She would also leave after helping Cheong with the cases on hand. It was only 11 p.m. when they left the police station. Where are we going to eat? Asked Baiya. I remember you have a seafood restaurant. It tastes good. I have taken my friends there several times. They have become regulars there. Gu Lingqing said, holding Baiya's hand. After I leave, I still can't bear to part with this shop. When the time comes, I'll leave it to my senior to manage. If you like seafood, we can open a few after we go back. I'll find someone to take care of it. You can eat whatever you want. Just ask them to fly the freshest seafood over. I can still do that. Baiya smiled. In fact, she liked Seattle very much. She liked life and environment, and it was easier for her to get along with people. However, she still had her duty to do, and Gu Lingqing also had his duty to do. Perhaps, after they retired, they could continue to live in Seattle. Baiya and Gu Lingqing went to the seafood restaurant. The waiter came up to them enthusiastically. What would you like to eat today? Baiya looked at Gu Lingqing. 2 king crabs with cheese paella, Gu Lingqing said. Baiya nodded and gestured for the waiter to prepare. Even though it was noon, there were still many customers in the restaurant. There were 6 tables. At night, there would be a lot more customers than now. Baiya chose a table by the window and sat down. There was beautiful and light music playing in the restaurant. Coupled with the sound of the wind, the waves, and the seabirds, it felt quite good. It really felt like a restaurant by the sea. Do you know a girl called Ellie? She was a black man and used to be a secret agent. You should know her, right? She used to be in Team 11, Baiya asked. Yes, Cheong reported it to me, Gu Lingqing said. Later, she found someone to kidnap me. Do you know about this? Baiya asked again. Yes, Cheong will report to me as long as it's related to you, Gu Lingqing said calmly. Later, I saw her fighting with a man in front of my house. In the end, I think she was taken away by the man. Do you know about this? Baiye asked again. Yes, that man is Zhang Xingyu. He's my man. He's in charge of protecting you. Baiye suddenly understood. No wonder he appeared in time when she was almost raped in the parking lot. It turned out that he was protecting her in the dark. Where is Ellie now? Baiye asked in confusion. I remember you once said that people should be responsible for their own actions and pay the corresponding consequences. I didn't protect her and left her to fend for herself. She offended a few big bosses. I don't know what happened after that, but I can be sure that she can't hurt you now, Gu Lingqing said in a deep voice. His eyes were very deep, as if there was something hidden in them. Baiye was inexplicably flustered and didn't ask further. I was wondering why she didn't come to me for revenge. Both of them didn't speak. The atmosphere was a little strange and awkward. I was wondering why she didn't come to me for revenge. Baiye drank a mouthful of water. Both of them didn't speak, which made her feel uncomfortable. She found a topic and said, "How many years have you practiced Kung Fu?" I practiced when I was young. Have you practiced Tai Chi? When I saw the young Zhang Sanfeng, I felt that it was a very powerful Kung Fu. I saw a lot of old men practicing it in the park. No. Maybe, I'll practice it when I'm older, Gu Lingqing said simply. Why do you have to wait until you're older to practice? Can't you practice it now? Baiye was curious. When he said that, she seemed to see that most of the people who practiced Tai Chi were old men, and there were fewer young people. Tai Chi pays attention to too many things. It's different from other Kung Fu practices. It's a combination of hardness and softness, and it can't be achieved in 1 or 2 years. Moreover, it requires talent. Some people without talent practice for 20 years, but it's useless. In the army, they will practice on strength and speed. It's more intuitive. As long as they work hard, they can achieve better results, Gu Lingqing explained patiently. Baiye nodded. I think I understand. Maybe, I can practice it. If you want to practice, I know a master. His Tai Chi has reached the peak of perfection. Moreover, his meridian massage is also unparalleled. It's all about the internal meridian. The effect is very obvious, and it has something to do with medical students. I'll introduce him to you when I get back. He doesn't come out easily. You speak as if he's an immortal in the mountains. He pays attention to people and nature. I also met him when I was on a mission a long time ago, Gu Lingqing explained. While they were chatting, the king crab was ready. The waiter served several kinds of seasonings. The seasonings Baiye used were very special, so there were a lot of repeat customers. Moreover, he was considerate enough to send 2 pairs of scissors. Baiye went to pry open the pliers. Because it had just come out of the pot, it was still a little hot. She touched the pliers and retracted her hand. Gu Lingqing had already cut the meat off the leg and placed it on her plate. Chapter 794. Baiye was touched and looked at him. You eat too. When the king crab is cold, I can eat it. I'm quite good at eating king crab. I'll peel it for you. Gu Lingqing's simple sentence was a statement. It was irresistible. It was domineering and strong, but her heart was warm. Baiye didn't reject his kindness and ate the king crab. You eat too, Baiye said. Okay, Gu Lingqing answered. Baiye's king crab wasn't so hot. She cut it and ate it herself. It was a happy thing to chat with a friend while eating king crab. Have you told Cheong that we're leaving? Baiye asked. Not yet. I'm going to tell him tonight. Do you think he'll agree? We've helped him solve a few troublesome cases. Baya took a sip and sucked the meat out of the crab's leg. It was especially delicious. He has to agree. After all, it's our freedom to stay or leave, Gu Lingqing said with certainty. She was relieved when he said that. If Cheong wanted to be promoted, the more strange cases he solved, the better. If they left, Cheong would lose his bargaining chip. He would definitely ask her to stay, but if she wanted to leave, Cheong wouldn't be able to stop her. After a while, the waiter brought the cheese paella over. There were squid and prawns in the paella. There was also nutritious and delicious caviar in it. It was very crispy. Actually, she was already full after eating half of it. However, it wasn't tiring to chat with Gu Lingqing. She quite liked this kind of life. When she was full, she would rest for a while. Although Gu Lingqing didn't talk much, no matter what she asked, he would answer her patiently. He knew a lot of things and was very knowledgeable. She had never heard of many things before, so she listened with great interest. Do you have anything to do in the afternoon? Gu Lingqing asked. I don't have anything to do in the afternoon. I have a patient tomorrow morning, but he hasn't looked for me recently. I'll give him a call later. Maybe I don't have to go tomorrow morning, so I'm free tomorrow. The day after tomorrow, a girl might come for hypnosis. I'll ask my assistant to call and ask, Baya said. You don't see many patients. I didn't open a clinic to make money. I just don't want to be too bored. After all, this is my main profession. I don't want to waste it, nor do I want to work too hard. When we go back, I will arrange the corresponding work for you. The intensity will not be high. If you are tired, tell me and I will help you adjust, Gu Lingqing said. Let's support each other and improve together. Baya finished the crab feet and started to eat the middle part. You don't seem to have eaten much. You should eat more. Baya's phone rang. Seeing that it was Shin, she picked it up. Baya, we've chosen a girl. Come over and take a look. See if she is suitable. Baya felt that they were too dependent on her. Shen, I'll leave soon. You have to judge for yourselves. I can't be here all the time. What do you mean? You'll leave soon. Where are you going? Shen was shocked. Back to my country, Baya said directly. Shen was stunned. Does Cheong know about this? Baya glanced at Gu Lingqing. I don't know yet, but I'll know soon. I won't be coming over. Send me the video of the girl later. I'll have a look. Oh, okay. Shen hung up. I'll tell Cheong after dinner, Gu Lingqing said. Tell her. You're going to leave anyway. It's good to let them prepare in advance. Baya took a deep breath. She was too full. She lay on the sofa and tapped the table with her fingers. Oh, didn't you say that you have some problems in your heart? Do you want to tell me now? My problems are because of you. Since you're by my side, I naturally don't have any problems, Gu Lingqing said faintly, the corners of her lips curling up slightly. You're lying. You look a little uncomfortable. You're trying to hide it. You're smiling because you're uncomfortable. Don't you want to tell me? Baya asked again. Gu Lingqing nodded. Maybe. Xiaoya, I don't want to tell you yet. Can you give me some time? I don't want to tell you not because I want to hide it from you. I just don't want you to be troubled with me. But soon, I'll be able to solve all the problems. Baya looked at him. His eyes were deep, firm and distant. He was calm and reserved. It was hard to tell from his face, but it was also convincing. I'll give you a year. If you don't tell me after a year, I'll be angry. After that, I won't talk to you anymore, Baya said. Okay, let's make a deal. I'll tell you before November next year. After the meal, they went home together. Xiao Bai heard the sound of the car from afar. He was exchanging in the backyard. Baya took the dog food to the backyard. Xiao Bai stuck out his tongue, wagged his tail and ran back happily. Baya fed him the food. Xiao Bai lowered his head and ate. Are you tired? If you're tired, take a nap, Gu Lingqing stood behind her and said. I didn't have the habit of taking a nap in the afternoon. Baya said. She looked at him and smiled. You can change your habits. If you have time to take a nap in the afternoon, you'll be especially energetic in the afternoon. It's also good for your body. It can let your muscles and bones rest. Rest for a while. I've already lit the incense for you, Gu Lingqing said. Baya took a deep breath and entered the house. The room was filled with her favorite smell and her favorite music. Listening to it made her feel at peace. It was as if she was standing in the center of the universe. She went back to her room to sleep. Gu Lingqing just sat at the head of her bed. Baya didn't understand and asked, Aren't you going to sleep? You sleep. I'll watch you sleep, Gu Lingqing said softly. Baya closed her eyes and soon fell asleep. After a long time, when she opened her eyes again, Gu Lingqing wasn't there. She shouted, Gu Lingqing. No one answered her. She felt uneasy. If Gu Lingqing was there, he would answer her and appear in front of her. She seemed to have seen this scene in her dreams. She got up from the bed, opened the door and looked downstairs. Gu Lingqing wasn't there. She walked to the backyard. Xiao Bai was lying on the lawn and sleeping. There was no sound of Gu Lingqing. It was strange. If he went out, he should have told her, shouldn't he? She called him. The phone rang 5 times before he answered. You're awake. His voice was deep and emotionless. It felt cold, and there was a chill in his tone. Where are you? Baya asked carefully. I have something to do. I'll be back in about half an hour. Is it inconvenient to talk about something? Baya asked. Chapter 795. After saying that, he hung up the phone. Baya's heart sank a little. She remembered that when she first saw Gu Lingqing, he seemed to be chased by some people. Could it be that his trip this time had something to do with these people? There were many mysteries about Gu Lingqing. She didn't understand and was afraid to understand. After so many years of studying psychology, she knew that the more you cared about something, the more you had to force yourself not to think about it and not to investigate it. The more you worried, the more you were afraid, the more you put your heart and soul on someone, the more you couldn't work. When you couldn't help him at all, you would become a burden to him. She got up and cleaned the house, but Gu Lingqing still didn't come back. People were really strange. She told Alan that if you found a person, this person could make you worry about him and make you unable to let go, then you found the right person. However, when you really met such a person, it was hard to calm your heart. When that kind of heart-wrenching feeling was serious, you might as well live alone. At least, there were no times when you were sad, and there were no times when your heart would ache faintly. God was fair to everyone. When you didn't want to love, when there was no love, you could see more of the world. When there was love, you could only see and think of her. She was afraid that she would feel uncomfortable and call him, so she turned off her phone. She left her phone at home and went out with an umbrella. She went to the park for a walk, walked to the lake, bought a bag of fish food, and fed the fish. After a while, many goldfish came. They fought for food. There were more and more fish. Baya raised a smile, simple and happy. Patron Bai, someone shouted. Baya turned around in surprise. It was a man in a monk's robe, with very white skin and a sincere smile on his face. His skin was very white, and he was handsome and kind. He made her feel very comfortable. He called her Patron Bai, so he should be someone who knew her. Unfortunately, she really forgot a lot. Hello, Baya said with a smile. The ancient mage's smile became even brighter. It seems that you have thought it through and are no longer obsessed. Baya's heart ached faintly. I didn't figure it out. I just forgot a lot of things that I couldn't figure out. Grandmaster Gufa was very calm. Do you regret it? Baya shook her head. I think that at that time, I must have been at a stage where I couldn't take it anymore. She forgot everything, so in exchange for the peace I have now. My state of mind changes according to the environment. Even a usually docile rabbit would reveal its ferocious side and bite people in a bad environment. My state of mind during that period of time should have collapsed. So, I don't regret my choice at that time. It's just a process. You've undergone nirvana, Master Gufa said happily. Benefactor, you're the last person I've seen with the root of wisdom. You don't have to come and recruit me. Even if I do, I will be in a nunnery. Baya said jokingly. Buddhism is just a formality. Buddha is in your heart, and you can cultivate Buddhism anywhere. It's fine as long as Benefactor Bai is happy. Have you always been in the US? Baya asked curiously. I'm here for academic research, so I'll be staying here for 2 days. Have you finished eating? Let me treat you to dinner, Baya invited. It's okay, I'm a vegetarian. They've made arrangements. I just want to catch up with you and learn from you, Master. Master Gufa smiled. Let's go then. I know of a restaurant opened by a Chinese, but it's a bit far. They grow their own vegetables and the vegetables are quite fresh. I wonder if you're busy tonight. I can rest today. Master Gufa, wait for me on the road for 5 minutes. I'll go back and drive. Let's walk together. I've been walking for the whole day. I'm out for a walk because I want to relax. Master Gufa made a walking gesture. Master, many people are troubled by love. Will they come to you for guidance? Baya asked curiously. It seems like you've forgotten a lot of things. I only show people according to fate. I only see 2 people a day. I won't see more than that, Master Gufa explained. Among the people you see, is there anyone who is troubled by love? Baya changed the way she asked. Yes, you. You're the most troubled person I've ever seen. For love, you can stain your hands with blood. Fortunately, it's all for the sake of fame. So, God is kind and gave you nirvana rebirth. Stain my hands with blood. Baya was shocked. Her eyes were filled with tears. Then, she smiled. I've forgotten about it too. Sheng Dongcheng, Zhuchuni's death was planned by you. You also contributed to Xing Buhua's rise to power. Have you forgotten about all these? Yes, I've forgotten about it. No wonder there's no resentment, murderous intent, or hatred in your eyes. You're very peaceful. But, are you still troubled by love? Master Gufa asked softly. His voice was really pleasant to listen to. It was like the sound of nature imbued with the light of Buddha, making people feel relaxed both physically and mentally. Love is a very subtle thing. There's a limit to everything. The more you love, the more you pester, the more you care, and the more you force it, the further you can push the other party away. The right way to deal with it is to do your own thing and focus on yourself. Even if you care, you have to control yourself and be indifferent. This way, if the other party is comfortable with you, he'll never leave. Even if he leaves, it's okay because he's already used to living without him, Baya said calmly. You've done well. You've done well in everything you do, Grandmaster Gufa said, pleased. Baya went home to get his car. Gu Lingqing wasn't back yet. In his heart, he felt a little disappointed. However, even if he was disappointed, it was useless. He couldn't change the situation, so he had to get used to it. Baya drove for more than an hour and stopped at a farm. Master Gufa followed Baya in to eat. The hostess was happy to see Baya. Dr. Bai. I'm here with my friends. I've made 5 vegetarian dishes. Do as you see fit. Baya handed it over to the hostess. Alright, I'll go pick the vegetables now. Have a seat and have a cup of fruit tea. I made it this year, the hostess said and brewed them some fruit tea. Do you still want your fortunes read? Master Gufa asked. Baya shook her head. I don't want to. I can't force it. I'll just let nature take its course. I'll be at peace and live happily. Master Gufa smiled. You've reached nirvana. You're more enlightened than me. When you leave, bring some watermelons with you. They grow their own watermelons and they're really sweet. However, the watermelons now are too late. Next month, we'll only know about the watermelons in the greenhouse, Baya explained. She saw a familiar figure from the corner of her eyes and she turned to look. Gu Lingqing stood at the door and looked at her with a burning gaze. Chapter 796. Baya had a sour feeling in his heart, but he did not show it. He smiled and asked, Why are you here? Gu Lingqing walked towards Baya. I've told you that my people have been protecting you. So, I know where you've been and what you've been doing. Baya's heart sank. He felt annoyed as if he was being watched. Don't get anyone to follow me anymore. It makes me uncomfortable. I'm worried that something might happen to you. Gu Lingqing did not agree. Baya chuckled. Nothing will happen. If something happens, then it's fate. It doesn't matter. I care. Gu Lingqing stopped the topic with these 3 simple words and looked at Master Gufa. Master Gufa stood up with great self-restraint, nodded slightly to Gu Lingqing, and said, Almsgiver Gu, long time no see. Gu Lingqing also nodded at Master Gufa. Long time no see. The food here is delicious. Come and sit with us, Baya said to Gu Lingqing. Gu Lingqing did not say anything. He sat next to Baya and picked up Baya's cup of tea. Master Gufa looked at Gu Lingqing and frowned. Baya noticed his expression and asked, What's wrong? Master Gufa smiled and shook his head. He did not want to say more. The 3 of them did not say anything. The atmosphere was tense. Baya took a deep breath. Suddenly, he did not have anything to say. He smiled and asked Master Gufa, Can I go when you're discussing Buddhist scriptures tomorrow? I think it'll be interesting. Gu Lingqing looked at Baya. Baya noticed his gaze but pretended not to see it. Of course, Master Gufa said. Can you give me an address in time? I'll give you my phone number. You can contact me when the time comes, Master Gufan said. Baya smiled happily and took out his phone. Looks like today is a very lucky day for me to be able to get the master's phone number. Grandmaster Gufa also smiled. I look forward to your arrival tomorrow. Gu Lingqing's face became darker and darker. He drank all the water in Baya's cup. The first dish that the hostess brought over was a green pumpkin vine. Master, please enjoy, Baya invited. Master Gufa took a bite. It's really fresh. The hostess quickly brought over the tomato eggs and said to Master Guffin, "I know that you Buddhists believe that egg yolk is meat and egg white is vegetable. These eggs are all fried with egg white." "Thank you, benefactor." Grand Master Guffaw expressed his gratitude. "You're welcome. It's what I should do." The hostess left happily. "Master, have you eaten meat before?" Baya asked curiously. "I haven't. I was abandoned at the entrance of the temple when I was still a baby. It was my master who saved me," Master Guffaw said. "Do you want to eat meat?" Baya asked again. Master Guffaw smiled. "I don't want to. Vegetables are enough to fill my stomach. Why would I want anything else? I can focus on other things. Eating is just to maintain one's basic skills. In fact, eating less is good for the body." "Have you been in love before?" Baya asked again. "No," Master Guffaw said with a smile. "Have you thought about being in love before?" Baya asked. "I don't want to. My life is already very fulfilling. It's so fulfilling that I don't need anything else. Great love is more precious than love. I need more love to love others." Grandmaster Ancient Spell said. Baya carefully thought about what Master Guffaw said. Great love is more precious than romantic love. Does she not have love? That's why she's worried about love. The hostess served the third dish, sweet potato leaves. This is a seasonal dish. It's only available now. After this season, it'll be very difficult to eat it, the hostess introduced. "Okay, thank you." The hostess saw that another man had come. She was busy cooking and forgot to pour tea. She immediately prepared a cup for Gu Lingqing and a pot of fruit tea. "Thank you," Baya said with a smile. The hostess was very happy too. She happily went to cook. During the meal, Baya and Master Guffaw were the only ones chatting. Gu Lingqing sat at the side. He didn't touch the food or say anything. He just drank a lot of fruit tea. After the meal, they were going back. Gu Lingqing stood up and walked out of the door. Baya looked at Gu Lingqing and felt uncomfortable. She thought that she didn't do anything wrong. However, Gu Lingqing gave her a gloomy look, which made her very annoyed. After walking out of the door, she said to Gu Lingqing kindly, "I drove my own car here. I'll send Master Guffaw back later." Gu Lingqing gritted her teeth, turned her face away, got into her car, and drove away first. Baya sighed. She had guts. They felt like they were no longer in the same world. It was easy to fall in love, but difficult to get along. That was how it was. They would consume the love they had in the past in getting along until there was only mutual disgust, hatred, and annoyance left. In the end, they would go their separate ways and never see each other again. Perhaps it would be the same for her and Gu Lingqing. Her usual job was to guess people's minds. She just wanted to live a casual life and breathe freely. Giving up might be a way out. She didn't think about anything for the time being. She got into her car, and Master Guffaw sat next to her. "He should be angry," Master Guffaw said. "Anger will hurt others and affect their mood, but in fact, the one who hurts the most is himself. If he can't get over it." Baya paused and didn't continue. "It's strange. Your evil spirit has been eliminated, but Gu Lingqing's evil spirit is even stronger than it was 2 years ago," Master Guffaw said as he looked ahead. "Life is a kind of cultivation. If you cultivate well, you'll be able to see through love and make yourself and others feel comfortable. If you don't, you won't be able to grow. You'll be in a cycle of negative emotions." "That's my opinion," Baya said. She took a deep breath and drove. It was already late. The street lights were turned on, and the flickering light fell on her elegant face. Master Gufal looked at Baya. Are you ready to give up? Baya smiled. Master, if you become a psychologist, your achievements will be higher than mine. You understand human nature better than I do, and you understand the law better. She didn't want to see him today. She would feel frustrated and uncomfortable. The sound outside the door disappeared and Baya continued to soak in the water. With a click, the bathroom door opened. Baya turned around in surprise and looked at Gu Lingqing. I didn't give you the key. The moment she said that, Gu Lingqing's eyes darkened. The other meaning of that sentence was that she didn't open the door on purpose. His eyes darkened and he went out. Baya didn't care and continued to soak in the bath. She didn't think about anything else. After another 10 minutes, she got up, changed her clothes, dried her hair, and came out. Gu Lingqing sat on the sofa quietly and looked at him. His expression was much better now. He looked at her carefully and explained, I can come in without the key. Baya's lips twitched. This skill sounds a little scary. Gu Lingqing's heart was entangled by poisonous vines. It was sour and painful. She looked at Baya deeply. I thought you weren't back yet. I think that even a married couple needs personal space. What do you think? Baya asked. Gu Lingqing looked at her and didn't say a word. His eyes darkened. I think it's a little tiring to be with you. You don't like to talk and I can't see you clearly. Gu Lingqing, you can go back first today. I want to rest alone. Is that okay? Baya said in a friendly tone. I'm sorry, Gu Lingqing said. Baya smiled. You didn't do me wrong. You have the right to do whatever you want. Gu Lingqing stood up and walked towards Baya. He hugged her and skipped thousands of words. He said in a low voice, Don't chase me away. Baya looked straight ahead. Perhaps she had endured a lot today and wasn't in a good mood. She tried her best to control herself, but she couldn't say anything to make him stay. She felt that if he stayed today, she would be more depressed. The depression hadn't been resolved and it would explode sooner or later. I'm sorry, please give me some time, Baya said firmly. Gu Lingqing's whole body froze, and he stood there stiffly. Baya pushed him away and opened the door. Gu Lingqing looked at her. Then keep your phone switched on at all times. Baya smiled and didn't say a word. Gu Lingqing walked towards the door dispiritedly. When he passed by her, he stopped and looked at her without saying a word. It's late, Baya reminded. Forgive me, Gu Lingqing said these 3 simple words. Baya smiled. You didn't do anything wrong. You don't have to put yourself in such a lowly position. You've already forgotten me. How can I not be lowly? You can let go and be carefree. How can I not be lowly? The next second, you don't want me anymore. How can I not be lowly? Gu Lingqing was a little emotional. Her heart was squeezed tightly. Put your focus on yourself and do what you should do. That way, even if there's no one else, you'll still persist in doing what you want. Life is meaningful. In this world, it's not that you can't live without someone, Baya said coldly. My focus is you, Gu Lingqing said in a low voice. His gaze was firm and persistent. Baya smiled. She really felt that it was quite funny. She didn't want to say anything at first. She wanted to digest it tonight and continue to be in a good mood tomorrow. Chapter 798. Gu Lingqing's expression softened and he looked at her with a burning gaze. I can explain. No need, I don't want to hear it. That's your business, Bai said coldly. So you're kicking me out? Gu Lingqing frowned and asked. I wanted to think about our relationship, but I think there's no need to think about it anymore. You can think that I'm cold or heartless, but I'm just that kind of person. I'm not worthy of your love. Our relationship ends here. You said that we haven't divorced yet, so let's do it sometime. I don't want any of your assets. What about Shosho? You don't want it either. Gu Lingqing asked. The child is yours too. I believe that you'll be a good father. Meeting will just increase the sadness of parting. If we don't meet, everyone will be at peace. Everyone can be at peace. Gu Lingqing's eyes were bloodshot and he smiled bitterly. I'm afraid you're the only one who can be at peace. I won't get a divorce. I'll contact you tomorrow. Gu Lingqing didn't force her anymore. The more he forced her, the further she pushed him away. He left her house. Baya closed the door, took a deep breath, and took another deep breath, trying to calm her irritable mood. She returned to her room and thought quietly. She finally understood why she would hypnotize herself back then. Gu Lingqing was too quiet. He didn't say anything and people couldn't guess what he was thinking. He was very irritated. When suppressed to a certain extent, anyone would explode. She closed her eyes and didn't turn on her phone to rest. He slept all the way until dawn. She looked at the time. It was 6:15 in the morning. She got up, brushed her teeth, washed up and went to the kitchen. She cooked the porridge first and went to the backyard to water the plants. When Xiao Bai saw her, he immediately got up and ran to her side while wagging his tail. Bai smiled and watered the plants. Xiao Bai went over to bite the water and wet himself, which made Bai laugh. After watering the plants, she fed Xiao Bai dog food and went into the kitchen. She fried a poached egg, scooped some porridge, and turned on the television. She watched TV as she ate breakfast. She felt that her current situation was pretty good. Her state of mind was peaceful, and she could watch the falling flowers with a smile. Her mood wasn't up and down, and her life was easy and comfortable. Even if she didn't have love, she still had great love. She could do more things outside of love, and not just focus on him. People should be happier the longer they live, and not always live among evil creatures. After breakfast, she looked at the time. It was time to go grocery shopping. She opened the door and saw Gu Lingqing standing at the door. He looked at her face carefully and smiled. Morning. She saw that he was still wearing yesterday's clothes, and his hair was still damp from the morning. His eyes were dark and bloodshot. Did you stay here all night? Gu Lingqing didn't answer. Are you going out to buy groceries now? Baiya nodded. Gu Lingqing wanted to say something but stopped himself. I'll go with you. It's okay. Go back and have a good rest. You look really tired, Baiya said with a smile. She walked past him and headed towards her car. The way she treated him was no different from the way she treated her neighbor. Gu Lingqing held her hand and frowned. His heart hurt as though it was being cut by a knife. He couldn't breathe and his breathing became heavier. I'll accompany you, he said again. It was a statement, and it was sonorous and forceful. Baiya looked at his hand and looked at his handsome face calmly. I'm just accompanying you for a while. Why force it? I can explain everything, Gu Lingqing said in a low voice. His eyes, which had always been resolute, became misty. He knew that she had made up her mind and pushed him out of her world. This was worse than killing him. The mist gathered. Gu Lingqing clenched his fists and looked at her deeply. Baiya thought of the scene when they were camping a few days ago. She felt warm in her heart and her gaze loosened a little. However, she didn't want to change her decision easily. Why would I leave you? Baiya asked. Gu Lingqing pursed his lips and didn't say a word. He was afraid that if he said it, he would really be out of the game. So, he chose to lie. You thought I was dead. Baiya lowered her eyes. Her heart ached. She didn't like this feeling. I'm going to the master's class today. I'll give you a final answer tomorrow, okay? Baiya said calmly. Don't go, Gu Lingqing requested. He was angry yesterday. Firstly, Baiya was chatting happily with other men and didn't care about him. He was jealous. Secondly, he felt that the master wanted to make her become a monk. That was why he was unhappy. In the end, he took the woman away because he was worried that the woman was pretending and would harm Baiya. However, he had always been a man of action and not a man of words. He hated himself for being like this, because he had hurt her again and again. Baiya stared at him. She saw fear in his eyes. The biggest weakness of a woman was being soft-hearted. Because of being soft-hearted, they would forgive mistakes. Because of being soft-hearted, they would forgive hurt. Because of being soft-hearted, they would force themselves. Because of being soft-hearted, they would muddle along. I want to go. I think it's very useful to me. I'm sorry. I don't know what kind of woman I used to be to make you like me. However, I don't have my past memories. I'm a very selfish woman now. I just want to live for myself. I want to do what I want to do. I want to make friends that I want to make. I want to follow my heart. Gu Lingqing let go of his hand and slumped his shoulders. Baiya walked past him and got into her car. She started the car and left. Gu Lingqing looked at her car sadly. Baiya looked at him in the rearview mirror. When she met his affectionate gaze, her heart suddenly ached. She stopped the car by the side of the road. She covered her heart to cushion the pain. Gu Lingqing saw her stop the car and ran over worriedly. He opened the car door and asked anxiously, "What's wrong? Are you feeling unwell?" Baiya looked at Gu Lingqing. She saw his concern, fear, and nervousness. "I'll send you to the hospital." Gu Lingqing hugged her waist and wanted to carry her. Baiya held his arm. "I'm fine. Are you really okay?" Gu Lingqing looked at her face in disbelief. "I'm fine," Baiya said with certainty. Gu Lingqing let go of his hand. "It's good that you're fine. I'll leave then," Baiya said and went to close the door. "If you're not feeling well, remember to tell me," Gu Lingqing reminded her. Baiya replied casually. Gu Lingqing helped her close the door. Baiya looked at him and drove away. When she came back after buying groceries, she saw Gu Lingqing still standing at the door of her house. He looked at her as she got out of the car. "You didn't sleep last night. Aren't you tired?" Baiya asked. He knew that he would be eliminated soon. After being eliminated, he had not thought about his future life. He just wanted to see her when he could see her again. Chapter 799. His gaze made her feel sad and uncomfortable. However, since ancient times, it had always been easy to fall in love but difficult to get along. No matter how much a couple loved each other, they would forget how to love each other deeply. They would be burdened by daily necessities and the trivial matters of life. She had seen too much. Perhaps Baiya had always been self-abased, timid, and fearful. Hence, when she encountered a problem, she would not face it but escape. She was that kind of person. You should go back and rest. Your health is the most important," Baiya said gently. Gu Lingqing looked at her quietly. She did not say anything or move. She did not try to persuade her anymore. After putting the vegetables into the fridge, she called Zhang Luoyue's mother. Luoyue has been in a good state of mind recently. He's in the middle of composing. I'll call Dr. Bai if I need anything, Zhang Luoyue's mother said. Bai Yo was relieved. Okay. She contacted Master Gufa and went to the hotel where he was having a talk. When she went out, Gu Lingqing was still there. She was a little annoyed. You're already in your 30s. Why are you still like a child? What's the use of you standing at my door? Gu Lingqing looked at her deeply. Her heart was sour and bitter. She was not good with words. She had thousands of things to say but she could not say them. Do whatever you want, Bai Yi said helplessly. Then, she drove away. When she arrived, Master Gufa and the rest were already preaching. She heard the Reverend Gu Fa say, because of love there is sorrow, because of love there is fear, if separated from love, there is no sorrow nor fear, because of love there is resentment, because of love there is regret, if separated from love, there is no resentment nor regret, because of love there is sorrow, because of love there is pity, if separated from love, there is no sorrow nor pity, because of love there is pain, because of love there is fear, if separated from love, there is no pain nor fear. Isn't a person without love a cold person, a walking corpse? What about it? Great love. The old man asked. There are 8 types of sufferings in the world: birth, aging, sickness, and death, love, hate, and not being able to ask for what you want. The 5 Yin are flourishing. Everything is born from the heart, and the heart gives birth to thoughts. Thoughts are impermanent when they are calm. Understanding is like a celestial being. When one is calm, one can observe all living things. When one is old, one can receive all living things. Only after experiencing pain can one feel joy. How can an ancient master feel joy when he doesn't feel pain? A woman asked. No desires, no demands, tranquil and brilliant, jumping out of the world of mortals, able to observe all things. There is no sorrow, no pain, yet one can sense the world. Great Master Gufa said. Bai Yi's mood calmed down. Every time she listened to the ancient master speak, she would feel more comfortable. It was as if she was looking at a glowing sarira, the spring breeze brushing past her cheeks, and the natural air between her nostrils could make her feel peaceful and serene. Someone sat down beside him. His aura was too strong. Bai Yi's heart was pounding as she looked to the side. Gu Lingqing glanced at her and didn't say anything. She looked at Master Gufa. Master Gufa also looked at Gu Lingqing. He nodded, smiled, and continued to discuss the Tao. If you become a monk, I will accompany you. Gu Lingqing said in a low voice. Bai Yi glanced at him. Maybe it was because she loved him too much that she felt worry, fear, resentment, regret, sorrow, pity, pain, and fear. These 8 types of emotions appeared at the same time. After leaving him, she would return to her previous calmness. But if she wanted calmness, why would she agree to be with him? What exactly did she want? Master Gufa, there is something I don't understand. Deities can get married, so why can't Buddhists? A girl asked. Master Gufa laughed. It isn't that Buddhists can't get married, but they have seen through it, so they don't want to. As for deities, they were originally made up by the people of the world. They have a mysterious color to them. They are people's hopes for longevity, desire, and magic. Can people really enter the cycle and be reborn? The girl asked again. We don't know about the world after death. Maybe it really is possible. Now, many scientists are researching that after death, people will become lighter. What is lighter might be the soul. Maybe in the future, science and exploration will tell us the answer. Now, I just want to carry my faith and walk on, Master Guffaw replied. The truth is often not important. What is important is what you believe in. I remember when I was young, I watched The Legend of the Condor Heroes. Someone said that Yang Kong didn't actually die. After he was buried, the soil absorbed the poison in his body and he came back to life. I always believed in it and even spread it everywhere, Baya said softly. Maybe Master Guffaw's ears were sharp. He heard what Baya said. He looked at Baya and smiled. Baya smiled back. Gu Lingqing's gaze turned cold. He knew that he was jealous. He didn't like it when Baya smiled with other men, even if it was a monk. Maybe he pretended to be a monk and after he achieved his goal, he returned to normal life. They chatted for 4 hours. Baya listened patiently and realized that cultivating one's mind was similar to psychology. For example, when a person was hurt in love, Buddha said, "Let it go and you'll be free." You can go and do things of great love and forget about small things. For psychology students, when a person was hurt in love, what they had to do was to convince the person to let it go and do things that were more meaningful. Hence, whether it was cultivating Buddhism or looking for a psychologist, it was all for the sake of peace and tranquility. They wanted to not feel pain and live a happy life. They could smile at everything. As long as their state of mind was at peace, it didn't matter whether they let it go or not. She looked at Gu Lingqing. "Lingqing, I'm hungry. Let's go home and have hot pot. I have a lot of ingredients in my fridge." Gu Lingqing looked at Baya in surprise. Baya smiled. "Let's go." She stood up. Master Guffaw walked in front of her. "Almsgiver Bai, can we speak in private?" Gu Lingqing instinctively stood in front of Baya. He was very guarded. "All right." Baya agreed readily. She turned to look at Gu Lingqing. "You drove here too, right? Go back and wait for me. I'll be back in a while." Gu Lingqing frowned. Baya stroked his brows. "I don't like it when you frown. Go back and wait for me." I'll wait for you," Gu Lingqing replied. Baya followed Master Guffaw to the room next door. "What do you think?" "I think that in ancient times, there weren't any psychologists. People would go to the temple if they were in pain. At that time, the temple became a place for men and women to solve their problems. One's appearance comes from the heart. With the guidance of Buddha, they would know how to let go of the pain in their hearts. So, this is how Buddha delivers salvation. What do you think?" Baya asked. "This is a new idea. This is the first time I've heard someone say this to me. I feel comfortable talking to Master Guffaw. Maybe you're my belief. Or maybe you're using your own method to enlighten me. I agree with many of your viewpoints, but there's one thing, I'm Qin Tang Tang. My novel has been made into a radio drama. Please follow my WeChat account. Jade Lake." Chapter 800. What? Master Guffaw asked. "Maybe it's because you grew up in the temple. You're very Buddha-like and your ability to comprehend things is also very high. But do you really want to live like this? After all, you haven't experienced love, friendship, and the busyness of life. Maybe, after experiencing all that, you'll be able to become a monk and not regret your life," Baya said softly. Master Guffaw pondered and looked at Baya faintly. "Have you comprehended love now?" "Just now, I looked at it from the perspective of someone involved. The more I put in, the more humble I become. I have to please him, approach him, and pester him. Right now, I love him less than he loves me. What's there for me to complain about? I was resentful, painful, sad, and timid before because I love him. Since I love him, why don't we overcome the difficulties together? What happens after we overcome the difficulties? Master Gufa asked. Baiya smiled slightly. You will enter a simple life of tea, rice, oil, and salt. With a peaceful heart, you can still laugh and watch the flowers fall in the garden, right? Moreover, with someone to practice with, you will be more determined. Your comprehension is more thorough than mine. Cultivating together is better than cultivating alone, but it is also more difficult. It is also more difficult to grasp the degree of mastery. If we can cultivate together, then our lives really won't be in vain. Grand Master Gufa laughed. I think I'll do my best in the future. Maybe I'm not done yet. It's too miserable for me to be alone, Baiya said. You can tell me if you need anything in the future. I'll definitely be there, Master Gufa promised. Thank you, Master. I should thank you for opening a new path for me. That's good. Then I'll go back first, Baiya said. Master Gufa nodded and saw her off. Baiya walked to the door and saw Gu Lingqing's car was still there. It was good if he could keep her company. She walked towards his car. When he saw her come out, he immediately got out of the car and looked at her worriedly. You've been with me for the past few days, but you were no longer with me when I woke up. That's why I'm angry and annoyed. Plus, you're not cold to me, so I don't want you anymore. You don't have to accompany me, but you have to let me know that the feeling of hesitation and ignorance is very uncomfortable. Can you do that? Asked Baiya. Gu Lingqing nodded. No, I wasn't cold to you. Do you think I learned psychology for nothing? I'm just jealous. Gu Lingqing's face was unusually red. Baiya pursed her lips and raised her chin. You're jealous of a monk. Do you want it? Let's go home and have hot pot. Get in your car. Ha! Gu Lingqing was pleasantly surprised. He thought that she had made up her mind after talking to Master Gufa. A smile appeared on his face. When Gu Lingqing smiled, he was really good-looking. It was like a celestial being. Baiya smiled as well. Previously, she pretended to be indifferent. Now that she looked calm, she still felt uncomfortable in her heart. Letting go did not mean letting go of her feelings. It also meant letting go of her obsession. She was tolerant, open-minded, and did not fuss about it. Her state of mind could still be at peace. Moreover, when she was with someone she loved, the calmness and ease after letting go was doubled. When they reached home, they were greeted by Xiao Bai's barking. I'm going to find a wife for Xiao Bai. What do you think? Asked Baiya as she unbuckled her seatbelt and got out of the car. Let's find one here when we get back. I'm afraid that they don't speak the same language. It'll be very troublesome, said Gu Lingqing seriously. Pfft, Baiya was amused by him. Give me the car keys later. I'll get someone to drive your car back, said Gu Lingqing. Is that Zhang Xingyu still following me? Asked Baiya curiously. Gu Lingqing nodded. I can't let you be in any danger. If you don't like him, he doesn't have to report anything to me in the future. You can just report to me when you're in danger. Is that okay? Baiya nodded. He probably hasn't eaten yet. Ask him to join us for hot pot. In the future, we can let him stay at home. It's not good for him to be exposed outside. Almost all the people from the dark shadows are here. You don't have to worry, explained Gu Lingqing. She didn't remember the dark shadows. Go and feed Xiao Bai. I'll go and prepare the dishes, said Baiya as she entered the kitchen. Gu Lingqing went to feed Xiao Bai. Her preparation was simple. She prepared the meatballs that she made previously. As she cooked them, she washed all the vegetables. Gu Lingqing came in, washed his hands and looked at her. Do you want to catch a fish? We won't be eating fish for lunch. It takes some time to process it. You didn't sleep last night. Go and rest after eating. Your health is your capital. Don't do this again, said Baya. However, she also realized that Gu Lingqing was very stubborn and wouldn't listen to her. If he wasn't guarding her, she might not have changed her mind. Therefore, people were contradictory. She was no exception. She hoped that he would like her and her heart ached for him. Because of her heart ached for him, she realized that she liked him. There was a knock on the door. Baya looked at the door in surprise. Who is it? It should be Zhang Xingyu. I called him here, explained Gu Lingqing as he went to open the door. General. Zhang Xingyu handed over the key respectfully. Come in for lunch, said Gu Lingqing in a deep voice. Baya saw Zhang Xingyu. This person had no memory at all. Zhang Xingyu saw Baya too. His eyes were flickering. He didn't dare to open his eyes to look at Baya. Did you do anything to me? Baya asked. No, no. Of course not. How would I dare to? Zhang Xingyu said immediately and lowered his head. Even if you did something to me, you still felt guilty when you saw me. It means that you're not a bad person. So, I forgive you, said Baya. Really? Zhang Xingyu was surprised. Baya smiled. So, you did something wrong to me. Zhang Xingyu knew that he had fallen into a trap. He looked at Gu Lingqing. Back then, he relied on Xing Buhua and felt guilty towards you. But, he came back to me, explained Gu Lingqing. Baya nodded. Since you've forgiven him, I can't say anything else. Let's eat. I've prepared some noodles. If you're not full, you can eat them. Let me help you. Gu Lingqing went into the kitchen and helped Baya bring out the pot. Other than vegetables, Baya also prepared lamb rolls and beef rolls. They were frozen in the fridge. Zhang Xingyu licked his lips in hunger. I haven't had hot pot since I came to Seattle. I miss it a little. I especially miss the hot pot that Madam prepared for Chinese New Year 2 years ago. That meal was so satisfying. Eat more then, said Baya. She took their bowls and sat down. Zhang Xingyu waited for Gu Lingqing to start eating before he started eating. Were you there when we went camping the day before yesterday? Asked Baya. Her face was red. No, the chief told us not to follow you, said Zhang Xingyu. Oh. Baya breathed a sigh of relief. After all, they did that in the wild. It would be embarrassing if they were heard. I am Qin Tang Tang. My novel has been made into a radio drama. Please follow me on WeChat. Jade Lake. Chapter 801. Gu Lingqing glanced at Baya. She prepared some lamb for Baya and placed it on her plate. After dinner Baya let Gu Lingqing sleep while he let her accompany him. When they got onto the bed, he hugged her waist and fell asleep in a short while. Baya laid on the bed and counted. All the other patients had been treated. There was only one girl who had fallen out of love the next afternoon. She got up. Her waist tightened. Gu Lingqing opened her eyes and asked in a deep voice, "Where are you going?" "I'm not going anywhere. I'll just stay at home." "You can sleep for a while more," Baya said. Gu Lingqing sat up. "Then I won't sleep. I'll wait for a while. It'll be night time and I can sleep at night. I'm not going out. You can sleep. I'll wake you up," Baya said. She looked at him expectantly. Gu Lingqing nodded. Baya went out and called her assistant. "Ask the girl who wants to be hypnotized." "Does she still want to be hypnotized?" Okay, the assistant replied and hung up. Baya went to the backyard and played with Little White for a while. She took a cushion and sat in the shade of the backyard. She smelled the flowers and felt the breeze. She enjoyed the beauty of nature. She was in deep thought. Her phone rang. She saw that it was the assistant and picked it up. Dr. Bai, the girl committed suicide, the assistant said. How could that be? Didn't you say that you wanted to hypnotize her? Baya asked in surprise. She had an argument with her family and was beaten by her father. In a fit of anger, she jumped out of the window, the assistant explained. Baya's eyes darkened. The girl was already on the verge of a mental breakdown. Her father's beating made her feel that she had lost her family. She had no family, no love, and no friends. Thinking about it, she didn't want to continue living. In addition, she was impulsive and lost her young life. Dr. Bai, there's no one on your schedule. Do you need me to book a few more patients for you? The assistant asked. Not at the moment. See if you want to book a few more, Baya said with a smile. Okay, the assistant replied and hung up. Baya called Su Qinghe. Senior, when are you coming? Next Monday. I'm going through the procedures now, Su Qinghe said. Well, I'll leave all the clinics in the United States to you for the time being. I want to come back, Baya said. Ah, you're going back to America. Qinghe was shocked. Gu Lingqing and I are back together again. I'm back to face the problems left behind in the past. I have to solve the problems that should be solved and bear the responsibilities that should be borne. Have you recovered your memory? Su Qinghe asked in surprise. No. Perhaps, after returning to the country, after coming into contact with more people and things, my subconscious mind will be stimulated and my memories will be restored. There's no hurry. Since I'm here, I'll just take things as they come. No. Baya. Baya Don Shan. Baya smiled. Yeah, is. Atsu, yeah. Baya laughed. Don't. I need you to take care of my house and clinic. You just need to bring your wife and children over. You'll have a place to live and a job. I think I'm taking advantage of you. That's not all. I have a seafood restaurant for you to take care of. Just give me the money you earn. Baya smiled. There were few advantages in life. She didn't care about the effort or the returns. She just wanted to let nature take its course. You're my benefactor. I'll follow your lead in the future, Su Qinghe said. Baya heard his child's voice. Daddy, daddies. She smiled. Go and coax your child. I'll contact you when you're here. Baya hung up. The house and career were all settled. There was also Joan's job. She continued to sit on the lawn and meditate. Her thoughts drifted. She was a little tired, so she lay on the mat, closed her eyes and slept. She woke up with a blanket over her body and a hand on her waist. When she turned around, Gu Lingqing had unknowingly fallen asleep next to her. She turned around and looked at Gu Lingqing. He opened his eyes slowly. It was quite comfortable to lie like that. She didn't say anything. She continued to close her eyes and lay down to rest. Gu Lingqing didn't say anything either. He stared at her peaceful face. Baya lay for a while and couldn't fall asleep. She opened her eyes again and asked, "What time is it?" Gu Lingqing looked at the watch on his arm. It's 17:00. Ha! I've slept for so long. Baya sat up, flipped her messy hair, and looked at Gu Lingqing. What are we eating tonight? Anything is fine. How about steamed pork with preserved vegetables? Baya asked. Gu Lingqing slightly raised the corner of his mouth. Good. Xiaoya, I have something to do tonight. I might not come back. What are you doing tonight? Baiye asked in confusion. Gu Lingqing looked at her deeply. Baiye guessed that he had something he couldn't say. She smiled. You don't have to tell me if it's inconvenient. Remember when I told you that I was shot in the back of my head and you thought I was dead? Gu Lingqing said. Baiye nodded. I found the legendary research organization and asked them to operate on me. The condition is that I help them destroy solder, Gu Lingqing explained. Solder? What's that? Baiye was confused. She had never heard of the name. A mafia. They wanted to destroy the research organization, but many of them survived. They were afraid that solder would hunt them down, so they asked me to destroy them, Gu Lingqing explained. Does solder know that you're the one who wants to destroy them? Baiye asked worriedly. They don't know. I've always been masked. Solder has connections with the government, so they won't do anything. If solder finds out that you're the one who did it, will it affect the country? No. The government also wants to destroy the organization, but they have something on solder. So, it's safe-ish for me to do it. You asked people to protect me because you're worried that I'll be the first to suffer if your identity is exposed. Baiye guessed. Gu Lingqing nodded. Destroying solder is something you have to do, right? Baiye asked. Gu Lingqing nodded again. Then go do it. Be careful. I don't want to see you get hurt. Gu Lingqing pressed the back of her head and kissed her lips. I have you. I don't dare to let myself get hurt. After I woke up, I told myself that I'll live for you in the future. I'll focus on you and only think from your perspective. You have to keep your promise. Don't let anything happen to yourself. Gu Lingqing nodded seriously. I'll go cook. When are you leaving tonight? Baiye asked. 10 o'clock. I'll be back tomorrow morning. Sleep well and don't worry about me. Otherwise, I'll be worried, Gu Lingqing said. He didn't want to tell her before because he didn't want her to worry and lose sleep. Now that he told her, he was still worried that she wouldn't be able to sleep well. I'm Qin Tang Tang. My novel has been made into a radio drama. Follow me on WeChat. Fairy Lake. Chapter 802. Baiye smiled. I know. I'll have a good sleep and wait for you to come back. Okay. Baiye went to the kitchen to prepare dinner while Gu Lingqing was having a meeting in the study. At first, there was no one around and it was peaceful. But suddenly, 8 people appeared. Including Zhang Xingyu, there were 9 of them in the study. She thought that they would have to eat too, so she had to cook more. She went to catch the biggest fish and made braised fish, braised pork with preserved vegetables, pork knuckles, and 3 delicacies soup. She thought that there were too many people and it might not be enough, so she made beef with pickled cabbage, beef tenderloin with green peppers, and eggs with tomatoes. She cooked more rice and made it into egg fried rice. When everything was ready, it was already 7:30 at night. Gu Lingqing was still having a meeting. She went upstairs and knocked on the door. Come in, Gu Lingqing said in a deep voice. Baiye paused for a moment. The voice seemed to fall on her heart, causing it to throb in circles. This scene was very familiar, and it felt very familiar. She pushed the door open and saw Gu Lingqing, who was standing in front of the crowd and talking about strategy. He was wearing a black suit. His eyes were cold and sharp, but when he looked at her, there was a layer of gentleness. You guys eat first. Even if you're going to do a mission, you need to eat to have the strength. We'll have the meeting after dinner, Baya said gently. Okay, Gu Lingqing replied and walked towards Baya. The others also stood up and walked outside. I've prepared dinner for you guys. Let's eat together, Baya said. The others looked at Gu Lingqing. Gu Lingqing nodded. The soldiers smiled and said, I haven't eaten Madam's cooking for a long time. I miss it. From what they said, Baya could tell that they had eaten her cooking before. I've made a lot of fried rice, Baya said. Wait a minute. Baya served a pot of fried rice. There's more if it's not enough. I've cooked more. It'll be good when the time comes. Thank you, madam, said Zhang Xingyu. They sat down and ate. Baya looked at the honest-looking soldiers and felt that this scene was familiar. After the meal, Gu Lingqing and the soldiers continued their meeting, while Baya went to the kitchen to wash the dishes and do some cleaning. At 10 o'clock, they left on time. Gu Lingqing turned around and glanced at Baya. She smiled and waved her hand. After they left, she habitually played elegant music, lit incense, practiced yoga, took a shower, went to bed, closed her eyes, and slept. She knew that she should sleep, but logic often couldn't overcome her emotions. She was still worried about him, afraid that something would happen to him. Time ticked by. She kept her eyes closed, but she didn't fall asleep. Unable to fall asleep, she got up, opened the curtains, stood by the window, looked outside, and waited quietly. When the sky started to brighten, she looked at the time. It was already 5:05 in the morning, but Gu Lingqing hadn't come back yet. He didn't come back. Her heart was in knots. She waited until 6 in the morning. The sky was already bright, but Gu Lingqing still hadn't come back. She went to cook breakfast. She was going to make porridge with pork and century eggs, water the flowers, and feed Little White. The sun came out, but Gu Lingqing still hadn't come back. Her heart ached. Suddenly, she heard the sound of a car outside. She put down the hose in her hand and ran to the door. When she opened the door, Gu Lingqing stood at the door. The sun was behind him, as though it was giving him a golden glow. He smiled at her. Baya jumped into his arms and hugged him tightly. His body was very wet, and there was no sweat on him. His clothes smelled of smoke, gunpowder, and the morning sun. Gu Lingqing hugged her back, lowered his head, and kissed her on the forehead. Baya looked at Gu Lingqing. Did it go well? Very well, solder was completely dismantled, Gu Lingqing said with a smile. Then, have you paid off all the missions you owe? Baya asked with hope. Yes, Gu Lingqing replied, but 3 of my men were injured, so I came back a bit late. Are they badly injured? Baya asked worriedly. They're not in danger anymore. They just need to rest for a month or 2. I've already arranged it. Did you watch it at the research center? Yes, on the surface, it's a research center for the brain, but it's actually one of my secret bases, Gu Lingqing explained. So solder was completely dismantled? Baya asked worriedly. Yes, they're all dismantled. There should be news in the morning. Their scandals will be reported. But to avoid trouble, I've blocked some content related to the government, Gu Lingqing explained. Baya nodded. Did your soldiers eat breakfast? They ate before they went back. They're resting in the base now. You ate too? Baya asked. Gu Lingqing shook his head. He knew that she would definitely prepare breakfast at home. He wanted to come back and eat with her. I made porridge with pork and century egg, Baya said with a smile. Emichim, Gu Lingqing entered and asked, did you sleep well last night? Baya paused. She didn't sleep at all. If she told him, he would be worried. If he encountered those things in the future, he wouldn't be able to carry out his mission properly. So, she chose a white lie. I was fine, but I woke up a bit early. Eat the porridge with pork and century egg and go to sleep. I'll go get some for you. Baiya went into the kitchen and got 2 bowls of porridge. I've completed my mission here. I'll tell Cheong that we're leaving today. Do you have any more patients to see? Gu Lingqing asked. He was already preparing to go back to China. I've seen all the patients on my side. I won't take the other patients for the time being. My senior is coming over on Monday, so I'll hand over all the patients on hand to him. Under normal circumstances, we'll be able to go back on Tuesday. Also, tell your mother not to come over. Since we've decided to go back, it's very tiring to catch a flight, especially when we have a child with us. Okay. I'll call them when I wake up, Gu Lingqing said. Baiya saw that he didn't sleep the night before and the night before. He only slept for a few hours in the afternoon, so she didn't say anything else. She would talk about it after he woke up. Gu Lingqing finished his breakfast and looked at Baiya. He looked into her eyes and his gaze deepened. He could tell if she had slept well or not last night. In the future, I'll try not to go on a mission for the whole night. Sleep with me later, Gu Lingqing said in a low voice. Baiya smiled. Okay. Before going to bed, Gu Lingqing was worried that Cheong would call Baiya and disturb her sleep. He turned off her cell phone, turned off his own, and closed the curtains. Baiya fell asleep as soon as she touched the bed. She would only feel at ease when he came back. I am Chin Tang Tang. My novel has been made into a radio drama. Please follow me on WeChat. Fairy Lake. Chapter 803. Baiya woke up and opened her eyes. Gu Lingqing was not by her side. Her heart skipped a beat and she shouted, Gu Lingqing. I'm here, Gu Lingqing replied. He pushed the door open and looked at her. Baiya smiled when she saw him. You only slept for a while. Not really. Gu Lingqing looked at his watch. It's almost 16:00 now. I woke up a little earlier than you. Ah. It's 16:00. I slept for a long time. Baiya smiled awkwardly and got up. She went to the bathroom to brush her teeth and combed her hair. When she came out, she saw Gu Lingqing giving her a bowl of red bean soup. Eat first. We'll go out to eat later. There's a movie on. Let's go watch it together, Gu Lingqing said. Baiya took the red bean soup from him and took a sip. The red beans were soft and sweet. It was delicious. You cooked for a long time, right? I cooked it with a rice cooker. It didn't take much time. Gu Lingqing entered the kitchen and took a bowl for himself. Baiya looked at him. He had always been calm and resolute. Silence was golden. But wasn't life like this? They ate together and slept together. When he said that he was working, she listened patiently. When she was troubled, she could talk to him. Every day was ordinary. There was the company of her lover. There was food and drink. Wasn't this the life she had been pursuing? I read a book in the past. The book described that there was a place on Penglai Island that was heaven. There was a rock as big as a house. It could carry 100 people in the vast sky. There were also winged fish that could carry 1,000 people in the sea. The people there lived and worked in peace. They could taste the world's delicacies and do things that were blissful. It was warm in the winter and cool in the summer. Is it a fairy tale? Gu Lingqing asked cooperatively. We are the people who lived in this heaven. It was a place that many people in ancient times envied. The rock refers to planes and the winged fish refers to submarines, Baya explained. Gu Lingqing nodded. Baya held his hand. I'm not a parasite in your stomach. I can't read your mind. I'm your wife. I'm the one who will live with you for the rest of my life. We'll have to rely on each other even when we die. You must tell me if you need anything. I'll tell you if I need anything, Gu Lingqing promised. Baya smiled. While getting love, she could also feel at peace, and she would feel like she had the whole world. After eating, she went upstairs to get her phone. When she turned it on, many calls came in. Some were from the clinic, some were from unknown numbers, and some were from the police station. She called the assistant at the clinic first. Dr. Bai, the patient you treated before came to thank you, but you weren't here, the assistant said. Bai, the assistant said. I tried to see the patients today and I came. And said. I tried to treat the patient today. It seems that the effect is not bad. If I don't understand, I will ask you again, the assistant said happily. Since you've started seeing patients, it's time to find an assistant for the clinic. Go and arrange it. Yes, thank you, Dr. Bai. Baya hung up the phone and called an unfamiliar number back. Hello, I'm Baya. Who is this? Hello, Dr. Bai. I was introduced by Mr. Chen Bin. My surname is Jiang, the doctor said politely. Chen Bin was one of her former patients. He mentioned Chen Bin's name. Baya guessed that he was there to seek medical advice. As expected, the other party asked, I would like to consult you about some matters. That. I'm sorry, it's like this. I won't be seeing patients for the time being. You should be from a country, right? I'll be going back to a country in a few days, Baya said. That's great. I'm going back to country soon. Can I make an appointment then? Mr. Jiang said. I will contact you after I return to China. I still have something to do here. I will hang up first. Baya hung up the phone. After she returned to China, she would still become a psychiatrist. However, Gu Lingqing might arrange for her to work in the military. If she worked in the military, it would be inappropriate for her to receive patients from outside. However, Mr. Jiang was introduced by her former patient. If she didn't see him, she would probably refer him to someone else. In the end, she called the police station back. Baya, you finally picked up the phone, Shin complained. Shin complained, our people bumped into the murderer, and the two of them almost collided. After they got out of the car, the murderer was polite. He apologized to us and gave us a good impression, but they didn't even exchange phone numbers. What should we do next? It's normal that they didn't exchange phone numbers. We didn't find the same phone number in the previous victims' phones, Baya said. Then how will they contact each other next time? Didn't he like our people? Since he didn't exchange phone numbers with the previous victims, how will they contact each other again? Did we lock on to the wrong suspect? Shen was confused. Gu Lingqing looked at Baya and said in a deep voice, the murderer has a high EQ and is very vigilant. He doesn't leave his phone number. He will follow his prey for a long time and make sure it's safe before he makes his move. He will create many coincidental encounters. Let AI Wei check if the murderer is following us, Baya reminded immediately. That's bad. Our people followed him back to the police station this afternoon. If he is following us, it means that the murderer already knows that our people are police officers. What should we do? Shen was worried. Let AI Wei check first. If it's confirmed that the murderer is following us, then our people will be exposed. The murderer will be alerted and won't do anything for a while. We're doomed, Shen said dejectedly. Not necessarily. We can let AI track his whereabouts for 24 hours. Maybe he has a prey now. As long as we find out who his prey is, we can follow him further. It's more reliable than sending our people. That's the only thing we can do. Shin hung up. Baiya sighed. I'm afraid this case won't be solved in a short time. It's similar to the previous case. We need to find the next time they commit the crime. I've already told Cheong that we're going to launch 11. The cases on hand are all waiting. There's no hurry. We can travel around before we go back. Can we go to Country D? I want to see Lu Shuang before I go back, Baiya said. Gu Lingqing nodded. I can go with you tomorrow. Thinking that she might see Lu Shuang tomorrow, Baiya became nervous. How was she doing now? If she was still waiting for Shen Yin, she would definitely save Shen Yin when she returned to Country A. She didn't have many friends, so she cherished them. I am Qin Tang Tang. My novel has been made into a radio drama. Please follow me on WeChat. Jade Lake, you're tuning into the LoveLore Library YouTube channel. We're so grateful for your support, and don't forget to subscribe to join us on this incredible journey through captivating stories. Your generosity through donations truly makes a world of difference, as it's the primary source of revenue that allows me to expand and enhance this channel for you. Thank you from the bottom of my heart for being a part of this adventure.